It's young Dean.
What's the matter?
What's happening?
Oh, it's Victor Dean.
I think he's dead.
Not happy about the headline. Flush your kidneys with fizzlets. It's not quite right, somehow. And then after you've done that, Miss Rossiter, I'd like you to make sure the Laxamont campaign is well in hand. Last month's advertisements were half a day late.
Yes, Mr. Hankin.
Oh, and by the way, Miss Rossiter, there is a new copywriter coming today.
Oh, yes, Mr. Hankin.
His name is Bredon. I can't tell you much about him. Mr. Pym engaged him himself. But you will see that he's looked after.
Yes, Mr. Hankin.
He will have Mr. Dean's room.
Right, Mr. Hankin.
I should think that Mr. Ingleby could take him in hand and show him what to do.
Yes, Mr. Hankin. Excuse me, Mr. Ingleby, but Mr. Hankin says...
If it's tomboy toffee, it's being typed.
It isn't tomboy. It's a new copywriter.
What, already? Before those shoes were old? Why, they only buried little Dean on Friday.
All part of the modern system of push and go, Miss Meachard. All very distressing on an old-fashioned gentlemanly firm. Well, I suppose I've got to put this blighter through his paces. Why am I left with the baby?
Oh, rot, Ingleby. You've only got to warn him not to use the director's lav and not to tumble down the iron staircase.
You are the most callous woman, Miss Meachard. Well, as long as they don't put the fellow in with me.
It's all right, Mr. Ingleby. He's having Mr. Dean's room.
Good. What's he like?
Well, Mr. Hankin said he didn't know. Mr. Pym took him on.
Oh, gosh. Friend of the management.
Oh, I think I've seen him. Supercilious-looking blighter. Yes, I ran into him coming out of Pimmy's room yesterday. Horn rims, cross between Rafe Lynn and Bertie Wooster.
Death, where is thy sting?
Oh, well, makes a little excitement.
Oh, don't you think we've had rather too much of that lately, Miss Meatyard? Oh, by the way, could I have your subscription for the wreath? You told me to remind you.
Yes, rather. What is it, Bob? Well, here's £5 and you'd better take the sweep money out of it as well.
Thanks awfully, Miss Meatyard. I do hope you get a horse this time.
Uh-oh, Hankin's coming.
Mr. Ingleby.
Yes, Mr. Hankin?
This is Mr. Bredon. You will show him what he has to do. I think you might start him on margarine. I don't think Mr. Ingleby was up in your time, Mr. Bredon. He was at Trinity. Your Trinity, not ours.
How do you do, Ingleby?
How do you do?
And when you produce some ideas on Dairyfield's margarine, Mr. Bredon, bring them along to my room and we'll go over them.
Oh, righty-ho.
Well, Bredon, you'd better know everybody. Miss Rossiter and Miss Meachard are our guardian angels. Type our copy, correct our grammar, provide us with pencils and paper, and feed us on coffee and cake. Miss Rossiter is the blonde and Miss Meachard is the brunette. Gentlemen prefer blondes, but personally I find them both equally seraphic.
How do you do, Miss Rossiter?
How do you do?
Miss Meachard?
How do you do, Mr. Bredon?
Miss Meachard is one of the brighter ornaments of our department. She makes the vulgarest limericks ever recited within these chaste walls.
Then we shall be friends.
Would you like to be in on the Derby sweep, Mr. Bredon? You're just in time for the draw.
Oh, rather. How much?
Sixpence.
Sixpence? By Jove, absolutely, Miss Rossiter, yes. Must be in the jolly old sweep, what? I must say it's frightfully good of you. There we are.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I suppose we'd better take him along to his dog kennel, Miss Rossiter.
Oh, yes. This way, Mr. Bredon.
Oh, righty-ho. Rather, yes.
We're all along this corridor. You'll find your way about in time. That's Willis's room over there. That comrade in affliction.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Garrett's room. Mr. Garrett is a man of weight and experience, and does not come and frivole in the typist room. He goes out for his 11s and assumes seniority, though he hath it not. And this is your room, next to mine.
Ah.
That iron staircase opposite me goes down to the floor below.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly group managers and conference rooms. Don't fall down it, by the way. The man whose room you've got tumbled down it last week and killed himself. No. Bust his neck and cracked his skull. On one of those knobs. Well, here you are. Much the same as the other rooms, except that the radiator doesn't work very well. Still, that won't worry you just at present. This was Dean's room.
A chap who fell downstairs?
Yes.
It was awful, you know, Mr. Bredon.
Oh, it must have been, Miss Rossiter.
Mr. Hankin was just giving me dictation when we heard the most frightful crash. He said, "Good God, what's that?" I thought it must have been one of the office boys, because one of them fell down last year carrying an Elliot Fisher typewriter, and it sounded exactly like it, only worse. And I said, "I think one of the boys must have fallen downstairs, Mr. Hankin." And he said, "Careless little devils," and went on dictating. My hand was so shaky I could hardly make my outlines. Then Mr. Ingleby rang past, and another door opened, and then we heard the most terrific shriek. And Mr. Hankin said, "Better go and see what's happened." So I went out and looked down, and I couldn't see anything because there was such a bunch of people standing around. And then Mr. Ingleby came tearing up with such a look on his face. You were as white as a sheet, Mr. Ingleby, you were, really.
Possibly. 3 years in this soul-searing profession have not yet robbed me of all human feeling. But that will come in time.
Mr. Ingleby said, "He's killed himself." And I said, "Who?" And he said, "Mr. Dean." And I said, "You don't mean that." And he said, "I'm afraid so." And I went back to Mr. Hankin and said, "Mr. Dean's killed himself." And he said, "What do you mean killed himself?" And then Mr. Ingleby came in, and Mr. Hankin gave one look at him and went out. And I went down by the other staircase and saw them carry in Mr. Dean along to the boardroom. His head was all hanging sideways.
Does this kind of thing happen often?
Not with such catastrophic results. But that staircase is definitely a death trap.
Well, anyhow, Mr. Bredon, what happened next?
Yes, thank you, Miss Rossiter.
Oh. Well, I must get back to the typist room.
Whew. Well, we'd better start you off, Bredon?
Oh, righty-ho. I gather I'm on margarine.
Yes. Just be thankful you're not on new tracks like I am.
New tracks?
Yes. Nerves need new tracks and all that. The whole scheme's coordinated by Tallboy.
Who's Tallboy?
Tallboy? Oh, he's the group manager for new tracks. He makes Tuesday quite the foulest day of the week.
Who? How's that?
Well, there's a new tracks 11-inch double got to be got ready every Tuesday for the Morning Gazette. Tallboy always kicks up a fuss if it isn't exactly the way he wants it. Anyway, you'd better look through this to see the kind of thing we've been doing for margarine and then think up some headlines.
Oh.
Your story is, of course, that Dairyfield's Green Pastures margarine is everything that the best butter ought to be and only costs 9p a pound. They like a cow in the picture.
Why? Is it made of cow fat?
Well, I dare say it is, but you mustn't say that. People wouldn't like the idea. The picture of the cow suggests the taste of butter, that's all.
Oh, I see. Rather clever, that, what? Well, now, let's see. Something like, better than butter and half the price. Simple appeal to the pocket. That the idea?
Yes, but you mustn't knock butter. They sell butter as well.
Oh.
You can say it's as good as butter.
But in that case, what does one find to say in favour of butter? I mean, if the other stuff's as good and doesn't cost so much, what's the argument for buying butter?
You don't need an argument for buying butter. It's natural human instinct.
Oh, I see. Well, what about, bigger and butter value for money?
Well, that has the right feel about it.
Oh, wait a moment, hang on. You'd be ready to bet it was butter, huh?
The Dairyfield people are rather straight-laced about betting.
Yeah, we'll shake him up a bit then, what?
Well, as a matter of fact, Bredon, it's better not to throw one's weight about here till one's been 10 years or so in the place. It's not encouraged. This place is more like a government office than an advertising agency. Hustle's not wanted, and initiative and curiosity are politely shown the door.
Oh, thanks awfully, Ingleby. Thanks for telling me.
Not at all. I must go now. We're trouble from Tallboy if the new track's 11-inch double isn't ready for the printers by 3 o'clock. Oh, damn and blast new tracks. May all its directors get elephantiasis and ingrowing toenails.
Oh, hey, dear me, Ingleby.
I'll take my word for it, Bredon. You'll feel the same after a few years.
Have another chocolate eclair, Miss Rossiter.
Thank you, Miss Meatyard. I don't think I shall. You'll put on pounds and pounds if you eat all that sweet stuff.
That's what you come to a tea room for, Ducky.
What do you think of our new Mr. Bredon?
The Pimlico pet? Well, I think he's rather a lamb, and his shirts are simply too marvellous. Oh, he won't be able to keep that up on Pim's salary, bonus or no bonus, or the silk socks either.
He's been brought up silk-lined, all right. One of the new poor, I expect. Lost all his money in the slump or something.
Either that, or his family have got tired of supporting him and pushed him out to scratch for himself.
I think he's very clever. Did you see that idiotic headline he put up for Margarine the other day? It's a far, far butter thing. And he nearly sniggered himself sick. I think the pet was pulling his leg.
Oh, he'll make a copywriter. He's got the flair. If you know what I mean.
I hope he does. He's got beautiful manners. And he pays his tea bill like a little gentleman.
Oh, the pet's tongue runs on ball bearings.
But I say, Miss Meatyard, do you know what I did yesterday?
No.
Bredon came in and asked for Mr. Hankin's carbons. I was in an awful rush and said, help yourself. Well, what do you think? 10 minutes afterwards, I discovered he'd gone off with Mr. Hankin's private letter file.
Oh, no.
But he must have been blind, because it's marked private in red letters an inch high. So I haired off to Bredon, and there he was, calmly reading Hanky's private letters, if you please.
Oh, really?
You've got the wrong file, Mr. Bredon, I said. You oughtn't to be reading that. It's frightfully confidential. And he wasn't a bit ashamed. He just handed it back with a grin and said, really? Good gracious me, I'm so sorry.
Silly ass.
Still, it's very interesting to see what salary everyone gets, he said. He seemed to think it was awfully funny, and asked how long it would take him to reach Dean's salary.
How much was Dean getting?
6.
Not worth much more, in my opinion. The department will be better tempered without him, I must say. He did rile 'em sometimes. No, if Dean hadn't fallen downstairs, there'd have been a good old bust-up between him and Willis.
I never could understand what it was all about.
Well, I believe there was a girl in it.
Oh.
Willis used to go about with Dean quite a lot at the weekend, and then it all stopped suddenly. They had an awful row one day last March. I heard them going at it hammer and tongs in Dean's room. Well, I suppose we'd better push off home, or we shan't be fit for anything in the morning. Now, where's the cheque? I had 2 cakes more than you, so mine is 1 and a penny and yours is 9pence. Now, if you give me a bob and I give you 2pence and the waitress 2pence and settle up at the desk, we shall be all square.
Right.
Mr. Bredon, got an India rubber handy?
Good afternoon, Miss Meachard. I expect so, yes. Have a look at that pencil drawer.
Oh, hello, what's this?
What?
This. It's Victor Dean's scarab. It ought to have been sent back to his sister.
Oh, that. Yes, I knew that was there, but I didn't know who it belonged to. It's not a bad little thing, what? Real onyx. Quite heavy. Of course, it's not Egyptian. It's not even very old.
Probably not, but Dean adored it. He thought it was a surefire musket. He always had it in his waistcoat pocket or sitting in front of him while he worked. If he'd had it on him that day, he wouldn't have tumbled downstairs. At least that's what he'd have said himself.
It's chipped at the edge here, look. What sort of a chap was Dean?
Well, speaking ill of the dead and all that, but... Well, I wasn't exactly keen on him. I thought he was a rather unwholesome little beast.
In what way?
For one thing, I didn't like the people he went about with. He used to tag around with that Diane de Montgomery set. You know, wicked parties and fast cars and all that. Dean thought it was the smart thing to do, I suppose.
How old did you say he was?
26 or 27.
How did he come to be here?
Usual thing. Needed cash, I suppose. You can't lead a gay life on nothing, and he wasn't anybody, you know. I mean, his father was a bank manager or something, deceased. So I suppose he had to push out and earn his keep. He knew how to look after himself, all right.
Then how did he get in with the de Montmory lot?
Somebody picked him up, I should think. He had a certain kind of good looks. How you came to be here, Mr. Bredon, is a good deal more interesting than how Victor Dean came here. They start new copywriters without experience at £4 a week. About enough to pay for a pair of your shoes. And now I'd better get back to Tomboy Toffee.
Careless, Peter, careless.
I say, Bredon, is Brewer here?
Don't know him, actually, Ingleby, but you have my permission to search. The priest's hole and the concealed staircase are at your service.
Brewer, you know Brewer's dictionary of phrase and what's it? Anyway, how do you spell Conon Hodentolegos?
Oh, I can spell that. And Aldiborno Tofosco Fornio, too. The crossword?
No, headline for good judges' tobacco. Isn't it hot? Now I suppose we're going to have a week's dust and hammering.
Why?
Ah, the fiat has gone forth. The iron staircase in the corridor is condemned.
Who by?
The board.
Oh, rot, they mustn't do that.
What do you mean?
Admission of liability, ain't it?
And about time, too.
Well, I suppose so, but,
You look quite startled. I was beginning to think you had some sort of personal feeling in the matter.
Oh, good Lord, no, why should I? No, just a matter of principle, that's all. Except that the staircase does seem to have had its uses in eliminating the unfit. I gather that the late Victor Dean was not universally beloved.
I don't know. I never saw much harm in him. Of course, the Meachard woman loathed him.
Why?
Well, she's a decent sort of female, but she makes no allowances. My motto is live and let live. But protect your own interests. How are you getting on with Margarine?
Haven't touched it yet, actually. I've been trying to get out a name for 20 shilling tea. As far as I can make out from Hankin, it has no qualities except cheapness to recommend it. The name, however, must suggest solid wealth and respectability.
Why not call it Domestic Blend? Nothing could sound more reliable. And obviously nothing could suggest so much dreary economy.
Oh, I say, what ho. Oh, that absolutely wangs the nail over the crumpet. Absolutely the caterpillar's boots, what? Well, I'll put it to him and I'll see what he says. Oh dear, I've had too much lunch. I don't think anybody ought to work at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's unnatural.
Everything's unnatural in this job. Oh, my God, here's someone with something on a tray. Go away, young woman, go away.
I'm sorry, but Mr. Hankin says, will you please taste these samples of porridge and report upon them?
My dear Miss Rossiter, look at the time.
I know. Awful, isn't it? They're trying out tinned porridge.
What do we have to suffer in the service of the public?
Well, perhaps I can help, Miss Rossiter.
Oh.
Put it down. Now then. Take this down while it's fresh in my mind. Vintage A. Fine, full-bodied, sweet, nutty flavour, fully matured. A grand masculine porridge. Vintage B. Extra sick, refined, delicate character, requiring only...
Oh, Mr. Bredon.
Tell me, timeless houri, what was wrong with my lamented predecessor? Why did Miss Meachard hate him, and why does Ingleby praise him with faint damns?
Why? Because he didn't play fair. He was always snooping round other people's rooms, picking up their ideas and showing them up as his own.
Oh, really? Oh, I see. Ever met Dean's sister?
Pamela Dean? She's something to do with Silkenet hosiery, isn't she?
Is she?
She and Victor Dean ran a little flat together. She was as smart as paint, but rather silly, I thought, the only time I saw her.
Not impressed, eh?
No, but I've an idea our Mr. Willis was a bit smitten in that direction at one time. But it didn't seem to come to anything.
Oh, I see.
Of course, it wouldn't do to mention it to Mr. Willis. I think he's a bit sensitive about it.
Oh, quite. It's so easy to put one's foot in it in a new place, ain't it?
Look, Bredon, I really wish you'd mind your own business. I don't wish to discuss Dean with you or with anybody else. Is that clear?
Well, I'm sorry, Willis. Didn't mean to upset you.
If you're on Dean's game, you better clear out. I'm not interested.
What was Dean's game? I didn't know him. Never heard of him till I came to Pym's Publicity.
If you didn't know Dean, why bring him up? He went about with a gang of people I didn't care for, that's all. And from the look of you, I should have said you belonged to the same bright crowd.
The de Montmory crowd?
Oh, it's not much use your pretending you don't know all about it, is it, Bredon?
Ingleby told me Dean was a hanger-on at that particular bunch of bright young people. I've never met any of them. They'd think me terribly ancient, they would really. Besides, I don't think that they're very nice to know. Some of them are really naughty, you know. Did Mr. Pym know that Dean was a bright young thing?
I shouldn't think so, or he'd have buzzed him out double quick. What business is Dean of yours, anyway?
Oh, absolutely none. None whatever. I just wondered about him, that's all. He seems to have been a sort of misfit here, not quite imbued with the Pym spirit, if you see what I mean.
No, he wasn't. And if you take my advice, you'll leave Dean and his precious friends alone, or you won't make yourself too popular. The best thing Dean ever did was to fall down that staircase.
Nothing in life became him like the leaving of it, what? But it seems a bit harsh all the same. Somebody must have loved him. For he must be somebody's son, as the dear old song says. Had he any family? There's a sister, at least, isn't there?
What the devil do you want to know about his sister?
I don't. I just asked, that's all. Well, I think I'd better toddle off. I've enjoyed this little talk.
So, Lord Peter Wimsey has become one of the world's workers, eh?
Yes. In the shape of one Mr. Bredon, I am pulling down 4 solid quid a week. Amazing sensation. First time I've ever earned a cent. I am grinning, Charles, with honest pride. Just like my good brother-in-law has been doing all these years.
You make me sound like a Cheshire cat.
Ah, but you have good cause to feel pleased, Charles. There's many a member of the criminal fraternity behind bars because of the efforts of Chief Inspector Charles Parker.
I try to do my job. Well, now listen, Peter. What's this case all about, anyway?
Well, I'm best if I know, old lad. Old Pym had this letter that was worrying him, sent to him by Pamela Dean. That's the victim's sister. Well, Pym didn't want the police snooping around his beloved advertising agency, so I got asked to buzz along and investigate. So I buzzed, and there I am. Strictly incognito.
Your narrative style, though racy, is a little elliptical.
Well, now look, Charles. On a Monday afternoon, the 25th of May, to be particular, a young man, Victor Dean by name, employed as a copywriter in the firm of Pym's Publicity Limited, advertising agents, falls down an iron spiral staircase on their premises situated in the upper part of Southampton Row and dies immediately of injuries received. To wit, 1 broken neck, 1 cracked skull, 1 broken leg, and minor cuts and contusions various. The time of this disaster is, as nearly as can be ascertained, 3:30 in the afternoon.
Pretty extensive injuries for a fall of that kind.
So I thought before I saw the staircase. To proceed, I then find this piece of paper in the desk of the deceased. Have a look at it, Charles.
7th of January, G. 14th of January, O. 21st of January, A. 28th of January, P. 5th of February, G. But, Peter, it doesn't make any sense.
All right, you are, old lad. It doesn't make any kind of sense. Now, on the day after the sudden demise of Victor Dean, his sister Pamela sent to Mr. Pym a half-finished letter which she had found among her brother's things.
Have you got it there?
Yes, I have. Now, you'll notice that the letter is dated about 10 days previous to the death, and appears to have been laid aside, as if the writer wanted to think over the wording a bit more carefully.
Dear Mr. Pym, I think it only right you should know that there is something going on in the office which is very undesirable and might lead to serious... Oh, that's all there is.
Yes. And before he can complete the letter, young Victor Dean falls downstairs and is killed. Now, is that, or is it not, my dear Charles, a darned suspicious circumstance?
Pimm's Publicity Limited has died in mysterious circumstances. To investigate suspicions of murder, Lord Peter Wimsey has taken employment with Pimm's, posing as a new copywriter by the name of Bredon. Despite protest by his brother-in-law, Chief Inspector Charles Parker, that there is nothing strange about the death, Lord Peter Wimsey continues his investigations.
Hello, hello, hello. What ho, Ingleby?
Where have you been hiding, Bredon? Fighting Tallboy, I expect. He's on your tail. He wants that New Tracks headline. Now you know what it's like working on the New Tracks copy.
I have been up on the roof. Cooler and all that, don't you know?
I don't. It must be like a gridiron up there.
Ah, so it is, old lad, so it is. But I thought I'd just try it, what? As a matter of fact, I was chucking pennies over the parapet to that brass band. I got the Bomberton twice. The penny goes down with a tremendous whack, you know, and they look up all over the place to see where it comes from when you dodge down behind the parapet. It's a tremendously high parapet, too, ain't it? I suppose they wanted to make the building look higher than it is. It's the highest in the street, in any case. Earth hath not anything to show more fair. It's going to rain like Billy O'Toole in about 2 ticks. See how black he's come over?
You seem to have come over pretty black if it comes to that. Look at the seat of your trousers.
You do want a lot, Ingleby. It's a bit sooty up there, that's all. I was sitting on the skylight.
Look as if you've been shinning up a pipe.
Well, I did shin down a pipe. Only one pipe. Rather a nice pipe, actually. It took my fancy.
You're loopy. Doing acrobatics on dirty pipes. Whatever made you?
I dropped something. I went down onto the glass roof of the wash place. Nearly put my foot through. Oh, wouldn't old Hankin have been surprised if I'd tumbled into the wash basin on top of him. I then found I needn't have gone down by the pipe after all. I came back by the staircase. The roof door was open on both floors.
Yes, they generally keep them open in hot weather.
Well, I wish I'd known.
You know, if you keep on like this, it's you who'll need to be nourishing your nerves with New Tracks. And by the way, is that New Tracks half-double ready yet? You do realize it's Tuesday. If it's not ready today, it won't be in time for Friday's Morning Gazette.
Everything's under control, Ingleby, fear not. Oh, gosh, it's hot. I could do with a drink.
Have a glass of sparkling Pompeii.
What's that?
Oh, one of Brotherhood's non-alcoholic refreshers, made from finest Devon apples with a crisp, cool sparkle of champagne. Definitely anti-rheumatic. Doctors recommend it.
Ugh. I think this is an awfully immoral job of ours, I do really. Think how we spoil the digestion of the public.
Ah, yes, but think how earnestly we strive to put them right again. We undermine them with one hand and build them up with the other. The vitamins we destroy in the canning, we restore in Revito. The roughage we remove from Peabody's Piper Parriage, we make up into a package and market as Bunbury's breakfast brand. The stomachs we ruin with Pompeii, we reline with Peplitz to aid digestion. And by forcing the damn fool public to pay twice over, once to have its food emasculated and once to have the vitality put back again, we keep the wheels of commerce turning and give employment to thousands, including you and me.
Ah, say, that was a good one. I do adore thunderstorms. By the way, what has Willis got against me?
Well,
he seems to think that I'm not nice to know.
I want you not to talk to him about Victor Dean. He seems to have got it into his head that you were a friend of his or something.
But what was wrong with Dean?
He kept bad company. Why are you so keen to know about Dean anyway?
Well, I suppose I'm just naturally inquisitive. I always like to know about people. About the office boys, for instance. They do physical jerks on the roof, don't they? Is that the only time they're allowed up there?
Absolutely, otherwise strictly out of bounds.
I just wondered. They're a mischievous lot, I expect. Boys always are. I like them, you know, I like them. What's the name of the red-headed one? He looks a snappy lad.
That's Joe. They call him Ginger, of course. What's he been doing?
Oh, nothing. I expect you'll get a lot of cats prowling about this place.
Cats? I've never seen any cats. Except I believe there's a cat that lives in the canteen, which doesn't seem to come up here. What do you want a cat for?
Yeah, I don't. Anyway, there must be dozens of sparrows, mustn't there?
Bredon, I do think the storm has affected your brain. Do you know that?
But what I want to know is, Peter, who saw him die?
I, said the fly. Meaning those who saw the fall from below and those who saw it from above. The evidence is interesting. Some say that the staircase was well lit and that the deceased was not going extra fast, while others say that he fell all of a heap, forwards, clutching the Times Atlas in so fierce a grip that it could hardly be prized from his fingers. Now, what does that suggest you, Charles?
Only that the death was instantaneous, which it would be if one broke one's neck.
I know that, but look here. You are going downstairs and your foot slips. Now, what happens? Do you crumple forwards and dive down head first? Or do you sit down suddenly on your tail and do the rest of the journey that way?
Oh, it depends, Peter. If it was actually a slip, I should come down on my tail. But if I tripped, I should very likely dive forwards. You can't tell without knowing just how it happened.
All right, Charles, you always have an answer. Well, now, do you clutch what you're carrying with a deathly grip? Or do you chuck it and try to save yourself by grabbing hold of the banisters?
Oh, well, I should probably grab, unless I was carrying a tray full of crockery or anything. And even then, I don't know. Perhaps it's an instinct to hold on to what one's got. But equally, it's an instinct to try to save oneself. All this arguing about what you and I would do and what the reasonable man would do is very unsatisfactory.
Put it this way, Doubting Thomas. If the death grip was due to instantaneous rigor, he must have been dead so quickly that he couldn't think of saving himself. Now, there are two possible causes of death. The broken neck, which he must have got when he pitched on his head at the bottom, and the crack on the temple, which is attributed to his hitting his skull on one of the knobs of the banisters. Now, falling down a staircase isn't like falling off a roof. You do it in installments and have time to think about it. If he was killed by hitting the banisters, he must have fallen first and hit himself afterwards. The same thing applies with still more force to his breaking his neck. Why, then, when he felt himself going, didn't he drop everything and break his fall?
Wimsey, I know what you want me to say, that he was sandbagged first and dead before he fell, but I don't see it. I say he would have caught his toe in something and tripped forwards and struck his head straight away and died of that. But there's nothing impossible about that.
Then I will try again. How is this? That same evening, Mrs. Crump, the head charwoman, picked up this onyx scarab in the passage just beneath the iron staircase. It has, as you also see, a slight chip on one side. It belonged to the dead man, who was accustomed to carrying it in his waistcoat pocket or keep it sitting on his desk beside him while he worked. Now, what about that?
I should say it fell from his pocket when he fell.
And the chip in it?
It was probably there before.
It wasn't. Pamela told me it wasn't.
Pamela?
Pamela Dean, Victor Dean's sister.
Oh, yes. Then the scarab got chipped in falling.
You think that?
I do.
I think you were meant to think that. To continue, some few days earlier, the same dear woman found a smooth pebble of much the same size as the scarab lying in the same passage at the foot of the same iron staircase.
Did she? Will you care for a scotch, Peter?
Yeah, thank you, yeah. What's more, this other pebble, which I here produce, was found by me on the roof of the lavatory. I had to shin down a pipe to get it and ruined a perfectly good pair of flannel bags. I also found a place where the paint had been chipped off the skylight.
What skylight? Here.
Thank you. The skylight that is directly over the iron staircase. It's one of those pointed things, like a young greenhouse, and it has windows that open all round. You know the kind of thing. The kind which are kept open in hot weather. It was hot weather the day young Dean departed this life.
The idea being that somebody heaved a stone at him through the skylight?
To be exact, not a stone, but the stone. Meaning the scarab.
And how about the other stones?
Practice shots. I've ascertained that the office is always practically empty during the lunch hour. Nobody much goes up on the roof except Ginger and his friends.
Ginger and his friends?
I'm sorry, the office boys, don't you know. They have their PJs up on the roof at 8:30 a.m.
People who live in glass skylights shouldn't throw stones. Do you mean to suggest that by chucking a small stone like this at a fella, you're going to crack his skull open and break his neck for him?
Not if you just throw it, of course.
Eh?
Come in. Ah, Ginger.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Bredon, sir?
Yes, Ginger, I did. Come in and close the door, old lad, would you?
Oh, yes. Sorry, sir.
Ginger, Is this your catapult?
Oh, yes it is, sir.
It's a good one. Make it yourself?
Yes, sir.
Good shot with it?
Pretty fair, sir.
Like to have it back?
Yes, please, sir. Did you get it from...
Ah, that is my business, Ginger. I gather it was confiscated.
Well, we ain't supposed to carry them sort of things in our uniform pockets, sir. But I got caught like, and it was confiscated.
Confiscated?
Yes.
How long ago was it confiscated?
Bit over a month it would be, sir. About the middle of May.
And you've never laid hands on it since?
No, sir.
Have you any other catapult?
No, sir.
Did you ever shoot with this or any other catapult on the roof?
On the roof of the office, sir?
Yes.
No, sir.
Or anybody else that you know of?
No, sir.
Are you absolutely sure?
Nobody that I know of, sir.
All right. What was that book I saw you reading yesterday, Ginger?
The Clue of the Crimson Star, sir. About Sexton Blake. He's a detective, you know, sir.
You like detective stories, Ginger?
Oh, yes, sir. I read a lot of them. I'm going to be a detective one day, sir.
Well, the first thing a detective has to learn to do is to keep his mouth shut. You know that.
Yes, sir.
If I show you something now, Ginger, can you keep quiet about it?
Oh, yes, sir.
Right. Now we will see whether your catapult can tell us anything about its adventures since it left your hands.
Cool. You going to test the catapult for prints?
I am.
Is that why you're holding it all wrapped up in that handkerchief, then? So as not to put your own prints on it?
Quite correct, Ginger. Now, with the aid of some powder and an insufflator, it'll be interesting to see if we find any prints. And still more interesting if we find none. Not a single print. Ginger, what do you, as a detective, deduce from that?
Somebody must have wiped it clean, sir.
And why should anyone do that?
So that the police couldn't fix nothing on them, sir.
The police, eh?
Well, sir, the police, or a detective, or somebody like as it might be yourself, sir.
I can find no fault with that deduction, Ginger. Can you go further and say why this unknown catapult artist should have gone to all that trouble?
No, sir.
Oh, come.
Well, sir, it ain't as though he stole it. And besides, it ain't worth nothing.
No. Then it looks as though somebody has borrowed it if he didn't steal it. Now, who could do that?
I don't know, sir.
Do you realize, Ginger, that a thing like this might easily kill anybody if it happened to catch him in just the right spot?
Kill anybody? Would it, sir?
Well, I wouldn't like to try the experiment. You're quite sure, Sonny, that nobody you know of was larking about with this catapult the day that Mr. Dean fell downstairs?
No, sir. Wish I may die, sir. I never seen nothing of that. You don't think somebody catapulted Mr. Dean, sir?
Detectives never think anything, Ginger. They collect facts and make deductions. God forgive me. Can you remember who might have happened to be standing round or passing by when Mrs. Johnson took that catapult from you and put it on her desk?
I couldn't say right off, sir. I never saw her put it away. Excuse me, sir. Are you from Scotland Yard, sir?
No, Ginger. No, I'm not from Scotland Yard. Well, thank you for your help, Ginger. And mum's the word, remember?
Wild horses, sir. Wild horses.
Bredon here, as in summertime on.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Bredon, sir.
Yes?
There's a Miss Pamela Dean to see you, Mr. Bredon.
May I speak to her, please?
Hello, Mr. Bredon. Pamela Dean here. I got your letter this morning. Shall I come up?
No, don't do that. You oughtn't to have come here, you know. It's a little indiscreet, but, well, how about honouring me by taking in a spot of luncheon, though, what?
Oh, yes, thank you. I'd be delighted.
Splendid. I'll join you in a jiffy. But you see, Miss Dean, the letter by itself proves absolutely nothing. Spot more coffee?
Oh, no, thank you. But you agree that it's very strange that my brother should have begun some kind of warning letter 10 days before he was killed on that stairway?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Extremely strange. But that doesn't prove that he was killed. It's all darn suspicious, but the fall down the iron staircase could still turn out to be an accident. What interests me now is your brother's connection with the bright young things.
Oh, you mean Diane de Montgomery and her crowd?
Yes. Victor introduced you to that set, didn't he?
Yes, I suppose so. But I never really got involved with them the way Victor did.
Nevertheless, you do know the fair Diane, do you not?
Oh, yes.
Splendid. I want to make contact with her, and I need your help. First of all, get the name of Bredon circulating a bit. Tell the bright Diane that I am a most mysterious person. Hint that I am often miles away, in Paris or Vienna, or anywhere that sounds fruity. You can convey the right impression, I know. Philip Oppenheim with a touch of Ethel M. Dell and Eleanor Glynn.
All right. I could get you into Diane's next party. It's a fancy dress affair.
Excellent. Splendid, indeed, yes. I shall go as a harlequin. Yes, I rather fancy being a harlequin. With a mask, of course. Must have a mask, what? I say, will you excuse me for just a moment?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
I think I've spotted a familiar face at the next table, skulking behind a newspaper. Hello? Well, if it isn't a fellow refugee from Pym's Publicity. How are you, dear Mr. Willis? Enjoyed your lunch? What an extraordinary coincidence that you should also choose to eat at Simpson's today. Excellent saddle of mutton, what? But you should have tried the peas. Can I give you a lift back to the treadmill?
No, thanks, Bredon.
Miss Dean unhappily has to leave us. Who might come and console me by holding my hand?
Well, it is getting a bit late. If you're having a taxi, I'll share it with you.
Ah, that's the stuff. Miss Dean, I think you know Mr. Willis.
Oh, yes. Victor and he were great friends at one time. I must be getting along now. Thank you so much for my lunch, Mr. Bredon. And you won't forget.
I certainly will not. It isn't likely, is it?
Good afternoon, Mr. Willis.
Good afternoon, Miss Dean.
Pretty kid, young Dean's sister.
See here, Bredon. I don't know quite what your game is, but you better be careful. I told Dean, and I tell you. If you get Miss Dean mixed up with that dirty business of yours...
What dirty business?
You know well enough what I mean.
Perhaps I do. And what then? Do I get my neck broken like Victor Dean?
You'll get... You never mind. You'll get what's coming to you. I'll see to that.
I have no doubt that you'll do it very competently too, Mr. Willis. But do you mind telling me exactly where you come into all this? From what I can see, Miss Dean does not seem to welcome your championship with any great enthusiasm.
Now, look here.
It is their business of mine, of course, but then, on the other hand, it doesn't seem to be any business of yours, does it?
It is my business. It is every decent man's business. That's why I followed you to the restaurant.
What a detective you would make, Mr. Willis. But you really ought to take care when you're shadowing anybody that they're not sitting opposite a mirror or anything that will serve as a mirror. There is a picture in front of the table where you were sitting that reflects half the room. Elementary, my dear Watson. No doubt you will do better with practice. However, there's no secret about the appointment. We are going to a fancy dress affair on Friday. I'm meeting Miss Dean for dinner at Bredon's at 8 o'clock, and we're going on from there. Oh, here we are at our little home from home. We must put aside this light badinage and devote ourselves to Soppo and Pompaine and Peabody's Piper Parrich. A delightful occupation, though somewhat lacking in instinct. But let us not complain. We can't expect battle, murder, and sudden death more than once a week. By the way, where were you when Victor Dean fell downstairs?
In the lavatory.
Were you indeed? In the lavatory? You interest me strangely, Mr. Willis.
Our newest copywriter is perfectly potty.
Potty, Miss Meatyard? How do you mean potty?
Well, loopy, goofy, blah. He's always up on the roof playing with a catapult. I don't know what Mr. Hankin was saying.
Mr. Tallboy, you are the group manager. Surely you can stop members of the staff from cavorting about on the roof with catapults?
I'm sure I don't know what you mean, Mr. Hankin.
Of course you do. Willis told me that Bredon's been ranting and raving about taking pot shots at sparrows. Do you think the man's quite stable?
Yes. I mean, his work is very promising, isn't it?
Yes. His work on the whole is more promising than his behaviour.
I tell you, you, Ingleby, I'm fed up with Bredon. If he's not poking his nose into other people's affairs, he's playing silly games with catapults. Even Garrett's been gossiping about it, and you know how little interest he takes in the world about him.
Curious chap, Bredon. Nice enough to talk to and all that. His brain does get soft during this hot weather.
Well, Miss Meatyard, I said to him, Mr. Bredon, how can we expect the office boys to obey the rules?
When he's clowning around with a catapult himself.
Absolutely. I mean, if this were to reach Pym, well, he'd have every right to be angry, wouldn't he? After all, Miss Meatyard, if you're a copywriter, you're a copywriter, and the job does carry with it a certain status. And if a person's not prepared...
Well, old Parker Bird, I think you're uncommonly lucky to be alive and ought to be jolly well thankful instead of grumbling.
You'd grumble all right with a bust collarbone and a headache like nothing on earth, and a feeling as though a herd of bulls had been trampling on your tummy.
It beats me the way these policemen give way over trifling accidents. In the Sexton Blake book that my friend Ginger Joe has just lent me, the great detective, after being stunned with a piece of lead piping and trussed up for 6 hours, is taken by boat on a stormy night to a remote house on the coast and flung down a flight of stone steps into a cellar. At the 59th minute of the 11th hour, he is most fortunately rescued, and pausing only to swallow a few ham sandwiches and a cup of coffee, instantly joins in a prolonged pursuit of the murderers by aeroplane, during which he has to walk out along the wing and grapple with the fellow who has just landed on it with a rope. And here is my own brother-in-law, giving way to bad temper and bandages because some 3x4 crook has slugged him on his own comfortable staircase.
I'm trying to think who it could have been. It wasn't a burglar or anything like that. It was a deliberate attempt at murder. The light bulb had been put out of action beforehand, and he'd been hiding for some hours behind the coal bunker. You can see the marks of his feet. He wasn't obliging enough to leave anything behind to identify him except a Woolworth pencil.
Oh, he left a pencil, did he?
Yes, one of those pocket-propelling things. I've tried it for fingerprints, but you can't get much.
Sure.
Here. Oh, yes, and there was a letter for you. You know, in that postbox we rigged up here so you didn't have to give your own address to Pym's Publicity.
A letter?
Damn, I can't find it. I distinctly remember putting it in my jacket pocket. I know it was there. One of those fancy, long-shaped mauve envelopes with gilt edges, and a lady's fist, rather sprawling.
It's gone, has it? That's very remarkable. So it must have been somebody who knew I'd taken a flat above yours, pro tem. And what's more, Charles, this ain't a Woolworth's pencil. It's one of Darling's.
Same thing. Anyone might carry one of them.
Not so. This is where my expert knowledge comes in. Darlings don't sell these pencils, they give them away. Anybody buying more than a pound worth of goods gets a pencil as a good conduct prize. You observe that it carries an advertising slogan. It isn't dear, it's Darlings. One of Pym's best efforts, by the way.
Well, that's very helpful, Peter. It ought to be easy to identify a criminal who's bought a pound's worth of goods at Darlings within the last 6 months or so.
Wait a bit. This pencil, a natty scarlet, as you will observe, didn't come from any of Darling's branches, because it's not on the market yet. Ergo, there are only 3 places it could have come from. 1 from the pencil manufacturers, 2 from Darling's head office, and 3 from our place.
Do you mean Pym's?
I do. Darling's obligingly presented us with half a gross of them to try out.
Good Lord.
I think it is highly unlikely that you have a deadly enemy at the pencil manufacturers or at Darling's head office. It seems to me much more likely that the gentleman with the cosh, or knuckle duster, or sandbag, or lead piping, in short, the blunt instrument, came from Pym's, guided by your address, which, with your usual amiability, you kindly allowed me to give as mine. Observing my name neatly inscribed on the letterbox of flap 4, he mounted confidently on...
Well, I'm dashed. Do you mean to say it's really you who ought to be lying here, mangled and bruised?
I think so, Charles. I certainly do think so. Particularly as the assailant seems to have walked off with my private correspondence. I know who, or to be more grammatical, whom their letter was from, by the way.
Oh, yes. Whom?
From Pamela Dean, to be sure. I recognize your description of the envelope.
Pamela Dean, the victim's sister?
As you say.
Willis's young woman?
Precisely.
But how should he know about the letter?
I don't suppose he did. I rather fancy this is the result of a little bit of self-advertisement that I put in at the office. I made it clear to all and sundry that I had been experimenting on the roof with a catapult. I thought I might get some reaction. What a pity it reacted on you and not on me.
Yes, Peter, a very great pity.
For the London advertising agency in an attempt to unravel the mystery surrounding the death of young Victor Dean. Known only to the other members of staff as Mr. Bredon, Wimsey's investigations are proceeding as planned until he is informed that his brother-in-law, Chief Inspector Charles Parker, has been attacked. It is clearly a case of attempted murder. It is also clear that the intended victim was not Inspector Parker, but Lord Peter Wimsey himself. The attacker, however, has left a clue behind.
Well, Charles, it might have been worse. You may have a broken collarbone, but we've got 3 lines to go on. The people at Pym's Publicity, who knew that this place was the address I'd given to the firm, the people who heard all about me and my catapult, and, of course, the bloke who's lost his pencil.
And you're quite sure that pencil isn't on the market yet?
Quite sure. Could only have come from Pym's. I say, what a shock it must have been for whoever it was when I turned up this morning without so much as a black eye. You didn't manage to mark him, did you, Charles?
Afraid not. I got a clutch on his beastly throat, but he was all muffled up.
Ah, you did that badly, Charles. You should have socked him one. But I forgive you. I wonder if our friend will have another shot at me.
Not at this address, I hope.
Ah! Now I understand.
What?
Why nobody fainted at the sight of me this morning. He must have had a torch with him. He knocks you down, turns on the torch to see if you're properly dead, and he realizes he slugged the wrong man. Then he spots Pamela Dean's letter. But why would he have taken it? Did he know the writing, I wonder? When was it delivered?
Well, the 9:30 post, of course.
Suppose when he came in to look for my flat, he saw the letter in the box and recognized who it was from. That opens a wide field of speculation and possibly even offers another motive.
Wimsey, all this speculation is sending my temperature up.
Look here, old lad, I really am frightfully sorry you copped that packet that was meant for me. It's perfectly damnable luck, and I'm dashed thankful it wasn't worse.
But what kind of irregularity could be going on in Pym's that'd make it worthwhile doing away with Victor Dean and then trying to do the same with you?
Ah, now we're coming to that. Did you know, for instance, that young Dean used to hang around with the Montgomery crowd?
Ah, sinning above his station in life, eh?
Very much so. But you know Diane de Montgomery. She gets more kicks out of corrupting the bourgeois. She enjoys the wrestle with their little consciences.
Was Diane Dean's mistress?
No, it must have been. Now, Willis claims that young Dean wanted to let that crowd corrupt his sister, Pamela, as well, but I doubt that.
Who is Willis?
I beg your pardon, Charles. Willis is a young man who foams at the mouth if you mention the late Victor Dean. Willis was once Victor Dean's dearest friend, is in love with Pamela Dean, is furiously jealous of me, thinks I'm tarred with the same brush as Victor Dean, and dogs my footsteps with the incompetent zeal of 50 Watsons. He writes copy about face cream and corsets, is the son of a provincial draper, was educated at a grammar school, and wears, I deeply regret to say, a double-breasted waistcoat. That is the most sinister thing about him. Except that he admits to having been in the lavatory when Victor Dean fell downstairs, and the lavatory is the next step to the roof.
What was Willis's row with Dean?
Well, it transpires that Willis was in love with Dean's sister. And Willis, being a boob, talked to sister like a Dutch uncle because Dean had taken her to one of Diane de Montgomery's hot parties. Sister told Willis to go and bury himself. Willis then threatened Dean that he would shoot him like a dog. His very words, so I'm told.
Willis appears to think in cliches.
Well, of course he does. That's why he writes such good corset copy. Anyhow, there it was. Dean and Willis are daggers drawn for 3 months. Then Dean falls downstairs. Now, another problem with Victor Dean is that he was pulling down £6 a week at Pym's. How does one manage to run with the de Montgomery crowd on £300 a year?
Blackmail. Dean is looking round for a spot of extra income, and he discovers somebody at Pym's doing something he shouldn't. The head cashier cooking the accounts or something. So he says, if you don't square me, I'll tell Pym, and starts to write a letter. Probably, he never meant that letter to get to Pym at all. It was just a threat. The other man stops him for the moment by paying up something on account. Then he thinks, this is hopeless. I better slug the little beast, so he slugs him. And there you are.
Simple as that?
Probably not. Well, it'll do you no end of good, Peter, to have a really difficult case for once. When you struggled for a bit with a death that might have been caused by anybody for any imaginable motive, you may be less sniffy and superior about the stray murders all over the country that the police so notoriously failed to avenge. I hope it will be a lesson to you.
Thank you, Charles. I will try to profit by it. In the meantime, I'll go on gulling the public and be in Mr. Bredon to be heard of at your address.
Yes, and keep clear of that de Montgomery lot.
Yes, absolutely. She's a bad lot, that de Montgomery gal. I'm hoping to meet her tonight, incidentally, so I can let you know for certain.
Peter, quite apart from your morals, which alarm me, how did you get into that gang? I should have thought they'd as soon have taken up with the chief commissioner himself.
I am going incog. A fancy dress party, don't you know? And you needn't worry about my morals. All these young women get incapably drunk before the evening's half over.
Exactly. And what's the disguise to be?
Harlequin. Yeah, with a mask. A clever idea, what?
Dive! Dive in! I dare you to! Dive in!
I say, who is that fellow in the Harlequin costume?
Not a clue, old boy. But if he dives off that fountain, he's a goner.
Gosh! Do you really think he's going to do it?
Dive, Harlequin! Dive!
Oh, shut up, Diane. It's too shallow. You'll break his neck.
You be quiet. He shall dive. I want him to. He'll go to hell.
No, I said.
You wouldn't dare do it, but he will. Come on, Harlequin! Dive! Oh, you're marvellous. You're marvellous. Take me home, Harlequin. I adore you.
Come on, then, run, and let them catch us if they can.
Harlequin, what you behave like an idiot for? Diving into fountains.
My dear Mr. Montgomery, one must be different. I am always different. That is why, my dear young lady, I am the pursued and not the pursuer. You may say it's a cheap way of producing the effect, and so it is, but it's good enough for gin-soaked minds. On such as you, if you will pardon my saying so, subtlety would be wasted.
Well, Harlequin, if that's how you feel, why did you have to whisk me away from that perfectly wild party?
To please myself, which is the only reason you would admit for doing anything.
I could see you better without that damn mask.
And love me better, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Then I'm safer with it on.
Oh.
I hear your lovers have a knack of coming to bad ends. Like Victor Dean.
The little rotter. That wasn't anything to do with me.
Wasn't it?
Fell down a staircase or something, didn't he?
So he did. But why?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Haven't you? I thought you might have. Why did you send Victor Dean about his business?
Because he was a silly little bore, and just like all the rest.
You like them to be different?
I like everything to be different.
And when you find them different, you try to make them all alike. Hmm? Do you know anybody who is different?
Yes, you're different.
If I come down to your level, I shall be just like all the rest.
Try it.
I know when I'm well off. You can only go down and down.
Are you trying to insult me?
Yes, but it's very difficult. Tell me about Victor Dean. How did you pick him up?
We all went out one night to some frightful sort of suburban dancing place. We thought it would be such a scream.
And was it?
No, it was rather dull, really. But he was there, and he fell for me, and I thought he was rather a pet. That's all.
A simple story in words of one syllable. How long was he your pet?
Oh, about 6 months. But he wasn't any fun. He was all wet, Harlequin darling.
My child, you are telling the story very badly. You made him drink, and it upset his little tummy. You made him play high, and he said he couldn't afford it. You tried to make him take drugs, and he didn't like it. Anything else?
He was a little beast, Harlequin. Really, he was. He was out for what he could get.
Aren't you?
Me? I'm terribly generous. I gave him everything he wanted. I'm like that when I'm fond of anybody.
He took what he could get, but didn't spend it like a gentleman,
That's it. Do you know he actually called himself a gentleman? Wouldn't that make you laugh? Like the Middle Ages, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen. He said we needn't think he wasn't a gentleman because he worked in an office. Too mirth-making, Harlequin, darling, wasn't it? Oh, Harlequin, listen, I'll tell you something funny. One night I took Victor Dean to a party at Todd's place on the river.
A Todd?
Todd Milligan. Well, I introduced Victor to Todd. I said, this is Victor Dean, and he's a gentleman, and he works for Pym's Publicity. Todd said, oh, you're the chap, are you? And looked too utterly murderous. And afterwards, he asked me, just like you, how I got hold of Victor. Well, that's queer. Did Todd send you out here to ask me?
No one ever sends me anywhere. I go where I like.
Well, then why do you want to know all about Victor Dean?
Too mystery-making, ain't it? What did Milligan say to Dean?
Nothing much, but he told me to string him along, and afterwards, quite suddenly, he told me to give him the push.
And you did as you were told, like a good girl.
I was fed up with Victor anyhow, and it doesn't do to get wrong with Todd.
No, he might cut off supplies, mightn't he? Where does he get it from?
Cocaine, do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No, I don't suppose you do. And you can't get him to tell you either, can you? Not with all your charms.
Oh, Todd doesn't give anything away. He's a dirty swine. I loathe him. I'd do anything to get away from Todd. He knows too much. And besides, he's got the stuff. Lots of people have tried to chuck Todd, but they always go back again. Every Friday and Saturday.
That's when he hands it out, is it?
Mostly. But you weren't there earlier tonight, were you? He'd run short of the stuff or something. There was a hellish row, so I dashed off in the car, and then you appeared. You aren't one of Todd's regular lot, are you?
Not at present.
Do you want to be? Because don't. I'll get the stuff for you if you want, but Todd's a beast. You'd better keep clear of him.
Are you warning me for my own good?
Yes, I am.
What devotion. Why don't you cut loose from Todd?
I can't.
Afraid of him?
Not so much of him. It's the people behind him. Todd's afraid, too. He'd never let me go. He'd kill me first.
How fascinating. I think I must get to know Mr. Milligan.
You'd end up by being afraid, too.
Should I? Well, there's a kick in being afraid, you know.
I could show you how to get a kick out of life.
Could you?
Try and see.
What are you good for to me?
I am beautiful.
Not so beautiful as you were. In 5 years' time, you'll be ugly.
5 years? I wouldn't want you for 5 years.
I wouldn't want you for 5 minutes.
Well, what next?
Nothing. I shall take you home.
Where have we got to? What's happened?
We're home. Where's your latchkey?
Here. Kiss me. Take that mask off.
Now run along in. There's a policeman thinking we look rather disreputable.
Aren't you coming in?
No.
Well, goodbye then.
Goodbye, Diane.
Good evening, officer.
Evening, sir.
Moffat, you will never get promotion. If you don't know me, you should know the car.
Oh, good Lord, your lordship. I beg your pardon. I didn't somehow expect to see you here.
And not so much of your lordship either. Somebody might be listening. You on your beat?
Just going home, sir.
Yeah, jump in and I'll drive you there.
Thank you, my lord.
Ever see a fellow called Milligan around here?
Major Todd Milligan? Yeah, now and then. Oh, he's a bad hat, he is, if ever there was one. Runs that place down by the river. Mixed up with that big drug gang as Mr. Parker's after. We could pull him in any day, but he's not the real big noise.
Isn't he?
Oh, no, my lord. This car's a treat, ain't she? Shouldn't think there's much catch as you on the road. No, what Mr. Parker wants is to get him to lead us to the top man of all. Well, there don't seem to be much chance of it. Cunning as weasels they are. Don't suppose he knows himself who the other fella is.
How's it work, Moffat?
Well, my lord, as far as we've been told, the stuff is brought in from the coast once or twice a week and run up to London. We've had a try at catching it on the way more than once. Well, that is to say, Mr. Parker's special squad have, but they've always given us the slip. Then it will be taken somewhere, but where we don't know, and distributed out again to the big distributors. From them, it goes to all kinds of places. We could lay hands on it, but, well, what's the use? It'd only be in another place next week.
And where does Milligan come into it?
Well, we think he's one of the high-up distributors, my lord. He hands it out of that house of his and other places.
In the place where you found me, for instance?
No, that's one of them.
But the point is, where does Milligan get his supplies?
Ah, that's it, my lord.
Can't you follow him and find out?
Ah, but he don't fetch it for himself, my lord. There's others does that. And you see, if we was to open his parcels and search his tradesmen and so on, they'd just strike him off their list, and we'd be back where we was before.
So you would. Do you happen to know how often he gives parties at that house of his on the river?
Oh, most evenings, I'm told, my lord. Seems to keep open house like.
Well, you tell him to keep an eye open on Friday and Saturday nights, Moffat.
Fridays and Saturdays, my lord?
Those are the nights when things happen.
Is that so, my lord?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm much obliged to you. We didn't know that. That's a good tip, that is. Oh, if you'll drop me at the next corner, my lord, that'll do me a treat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid I've took your lordship out of your way.
Not a bit of it, Moffat, not a bit. Very glad to have seen you. Oh, and by the way, you have not seen me. Not a question of morals, you understand, but I fancy that Major Milligan might not approve of my visiting that particular house.
Oh, that's all right, my lord. Not being on duty at the time, I ain't bound to put in a report. Good night, my lord, and thank you.
Good night, Moffat. Morning, Miss Richards. Morning, Mr. Garrett.
Good morning, Mr. Bredon.
Good morning, Mr. Bredon.
What's up with tall boy this morning? Looking pretty glum, don't you think?
Well, the way he shoved past Miss Rossiter and me in the lift this morning.
Treats me the same way. I suppose he thinks I'm not worth talking to just because he's been to a public school and I haven't.
Public school? Well, first I've heard of it. What public school?
Oh, he was at Dumbleton.
Dumbleton? I don't think Dumbleton's a public school within the meaning of the Act.
Isn't it? Well, you've had a college education, Mr. Bredon. What schools do you call public schools?
Eton. Oh, and Harrow.
And Rugby?
Oh, no, that's a railway junction. And I've heard there's a decentish sort of place at Winchester, if you're not too particular.
I once met a man who'd been to Marlborough.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, Mr. Garrett, Mr. Tallboy says, can you go and see him right away? He doesn't look too happy.
Oh, dear. Ah, you wanted to see me, Tallboy?
Now, look here, Garrett.
I understand that you altered the New Tracks headline last night after I'd gone home. I should like to know what right you think you have to go around changing other people's copy. The sheer impertinence of it leaves me absolutely flabbergasted.
Listen, tall boy, I was doing you a favour. The Morning Gazette rang at 6 o'clock in an absolute tizzy about the New Tracks headline. I am considerably older than you, tall boy, and in my day a group manager would have been ashamed to leave the building before ascertaining that all was well with his advertisement for the next day's paper. How you came to let such an advertisement pass in the first place is beyond my understanding.
What was wrong with it?
Well, the headline ran, "Are you taking too much out of yourself?"
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing. But taken in conjunction with the picture, it did lay itself open to an unfortunate interpretation. You couldn't be contacted by phone, and there was only half an hour to do it in, so I changed it to overwork and over-worry waste nerve power. I was rather pleased with it, actually.
You were rather pleased with it, were you?
For heaven's sake, poor boy, don't make such a row.
And another thing, Garrett. When you were hugger-muggering around my desk last night, did you have the unprintable, bloody impertinence to interfere with my private belongings?
Poor boy, I've got a splitting headache.
I don't care a highly coloured damn if you've got a headache or not. There was an envelope in my desk last night with £50 in it, and it's gone, and Mrs. Crump says that she saw you faffing about among my papers.
I have your £50 here. I put it away safely for you, and I must say, tall boy, that I consider it extremely thoughtless of you to leave your property about for the charwoman to find. It's not fair. You should have more consideration than to put temptation in people's way. And I did not rummage about in your desk, as you suggest. I merely looked for the pull of the New Tracks half-double, and when I was closing the desk, this envelope fell out upon the floor.
You mean to tell me that you had the all-fired cheek to take my money away to your own damned room?
In your own interest.
Interest be damned, Garrett! Why the devil couldn't you leave it in a pigeonhole and not be so blasted interfering?
You do not realise...
I realise this, Garrett, that you're a superannuated interfering idiot. What the devil did you want to come poking your blasted nose in for?
Really, Mr. Torb.
What business is it of yours, anyway?
It was anybody's business who had the welfare of the firm at heart.
I don't want you to teach me my job.
Pardon me, I think you do.
Anyway, what's that got to do with it? The point is, you stick your nose into my private affairs.
I did not. The envelope fell out.
That's a bloody lie.
Pardon me. It is the truth.
Don't keep saying pardon me like a bloody kitchen maid.
Really, Torby, I think I ought to receive an apology.
You? You? Why the hell couldn't you have had the decency to ring me and tell me?
You weren't at home.
How do you know? Did you try?
No, but I knew you were out because I saw you in Southampton Row on my way out.
You saw me in Southampton Row and you hadn't the ordinary common decency to get hold of me and tell me what you've been after? Upon my word, Garrett, I believe you jolly well meant to get me into a row. And collar the cat for yourself, too, I shouldn't wonder.
How dare you suggest any such thing?
And all your rot about consideration for the charwomen. It's sheer damned hypocrisy. Of course I thought one of them had taken it. I said to the head cleaner...
You accused her?
I didn't accuse her. I told her I had missed £50. Unfortunately, she'd seen you at my desk. Otherwise, I suppose I should never have heard anything more about my money.
You have no right to say that.
I have a damn sight more right to say it than you had to steal my money.
Are you calling me a thief?
Yes, Garrett, I am.
And I call you a scoundrel, Torboy. An insolent scoundrel. And I say that if you came by the money honestly, which I doubt, sir, which I very much doubt... What do you want, Bredon?
I say, sorry to butt in and all that, but Hankey's compliments, and he says, would you mind talking a little more quietly? He's got a client next door.
I'll take my envelope, thank you. All right, Garrett. I shan't forget your kind interference.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Anything up?
Please, go away.
Oh, righty, here.
Oh, here's Mr. Bredon. Coffee, Mr. Bredon?
Oh, hello. Oh, yes, please, rather.
I say, have you heard the latest?
Hmm?
Old Garrett pinched 50 quid off Tallboy.
You don't say. Gosh, tell me quickly.
Well, somebody sent Mr. Tallboy £50 in a registered envelope.
I wish people would send me £50 in registered envelopes.
I say, have you heard about Tallboy?
Lost 50 quid in an envelope, I'm told, Miss Meachard.
Oh. Well, anyway, apparently it was in his desk and he forgot about it.
Yeah, catch me forgetting about 50 quid, what?
£50 or so is nothing to Mr. Tallboy, obviously.
I say.
What?
How on earth did Tallboy come to have that kind of money in the first place?
The death of Victor Dean, a young advertising copywriter, have led him to suspect a connection between Dean's death and the smuggling of drugs to London high society. While Chief Inspector Parker is checking on possible routes by which the drugs are entering the country, Lord Peter Wimsey, pretending to be Mr. Bredon, concentrates his attentions on the smart set. His suspicions begin to centre on a certain Diane de Montgomery and her unsavoury friend, Major Todd Milligan.
Ever see anything of that Dean girl nowadays, Diane?
Victor's sister? No, darling.
Well, I wish you would.
Why, Todd? She's one of nature's worst bores, darling.
I want to know if she knows anything about that place where Dean used to work.
The advertising place? But, Todd, how too yawn-making. Why do you want to know about advertising?
Oh, never mind. I was onto something rather useful there, that's all.
Oh? I'll give her a ring if you like, but she's about as wet as a drowned eel, darling. What do you want to know?
That's my business. Get me another whiskey and soda.
Todd? I've often wanted to ask you, why did you say I'd got to chuck Victor? Not that I cared about him, the poor fish. But I just wondered. Especially after you told me to string him along.
Because the young whatnot was trying to double-cross me, thanks. He was getting to be a nuisance. Somebody had been talking to him. Probably you.
Me? That's good. There wasn't anything I could tell him. You never tell me anything, Todd.
No, I've got some sense left.
Oh, how rude you are, darling. Well, you see, I couldn't have split to Victor. Did you bump Victor off, Todd?
Who says he was bumped off?
A little bird told me.
Is that your friend in the harlequin mask?
Well...
Who is that fellow, Diane?
Haven't the foggiest.
What's he want?
He doesn't want me, at any rate. Isn't that humiliating, Todd?
It must be.
I think he's on Victor's lay. He said he wouldn't be here if Victor hadn't popped off. Too thrilling, don't you think?
I think I'd like to meet this friend of yours. When's he likely to turn up?
Damned if I know. He just arrives. I don't think I'd have anything to do with him, Todd, if I were you. He's dangerous. Queer, somehow. Got a hunch about him.
Oh, your brain's going to mush, sweetest. And he's trading on it, that's all.
At least he amuses me, and you don't anymore, Todd. I think I'll give up dope. I'm getting puffy under the eyes. Do you think it would be amusing to go all good?
About as amusing as a Quaker meeting. Has your friend been trying to reform you? That's damned good.
Reform me nothing. But I'm looking horribly hag-like tonight. Oh, hell, what's the odds? Let's do something.
All right. Come on round to Slinker Braithwaite. He's throwing a party.
I'm sick of Slinker's parties. I say, Todd, let's go and gatecrash something really virtuous. Who's the stickiest old cat in London that's got anything on?
Oh, I don't know.
Tell you what, we'll scoop up Slinker's party and go round and look for striped awnings and crash the first thing we see.
Righto, I'm on. Well, Diane, we're in, anyhow.
We've hit the bull, all right. The Duchess of Denver's place. She's heaven's prize frozen face.
Good evening. Mr. Marmory, I think.
Harlequin.
I beg your pardon?
Harlequin. I recognise your voice. Todd is Harlequin.
Ah, the mysterious stranger. I think it's time you and I had a word, young man. May I ask why you have been tagging round after this lady in a mountebank get-up?
I fear that you are labouring under a misapprehension, sir, whoever you are. I have been dispatched by the Duchess on a... forgive me, a somewhat distasteful errand. She regrets that she has not the honour of this lady's acquaintance, nor, sir, of yours, and wishes me to ask by whose invitation you are here.
You do it marvellously, darling. We gate-crashed on the dear old bird. Same as you did, I expect.
So the Duchess inferred. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I must ask you to leave at once.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'm afraid it won't work. It may be a fact that we weren't invited here, but we aren't going to turn out for a nameless acrobat who's afraid to show his face.
No, I think you must be mistaking me for a friend of yours. Huh? My name is Peter Wimsey. I am Denver's brother.
But aren't you my Harlequin? Don't be such an ass. I know you are. I know that voice, and the mouth and chin.
Well, this is very interesting. Is it possible that... I fear it is. I think you must have encountered my unfortunate cousin, Bredon.
That was the name.
Ah, I'm glad to hear it. Sometimes he gives mine, which makes it deuced awkward.
See here, Diane, you seem to have dropped a brick. You'd better apologise, and then we'll clear. Look, I'm sorry we crashed in and all that.
Look, one moment. I should like to hear more about this. Be good enough to come into the house for a moment, would you? What will you drink?
Whiskies.
Yes, I might have known it. The abominable practice of putting whiskey on top of mixed drinks late at night is responsible for more ruined complexions and reputations than any other single cause. There is many a woman now walking the streets of London through putting whiskey on top of gin cocktails. Here are, Tomlin, 2 stiff whiskies and a liqueur brandy, please.
Very good, my lord.
You perceive the true object of this hospitable gesture. I have established my identity by the evidence of the reliable Tomlin. Let us now seek a spot less open to interruption. I suggest the library. The Duke of Denver, being an English gentleman, possesses a library in all his houses, though he never opens a book. This is called fidelity to ancient tradition. The chairs, however, are comfortable. Pray be seated. And now, tell me all about your encounter with my scandalous cousin.
Now, one moment. I think I know Debrett pretty well. I was not aware that you had a cousin called Bredon.
It is not every puppy that appears in the kennel book. Please help yourself to smokes. You'll find the cigars passable, Mr.
Milligan. Todd Milligan.
Ah, the well-known Major Milligan. You have a residence on the river, I fancy. Charming, charming. His fame has reached me from time to time through my good brother-in-law, Chief Inspector Parker of Scotland Yard. A beautiful retired spot, I believe. Hmm?
Just so. Mm-hmm. I had the pleasure of entertaining your cousin there one night.
Did he gate-crash you?
Well,
yes, that's exactly what he would do. Major Milligan, painful though it may be to me, I feel that I ought to warn you against that cousin of mine. He's definitely not nice to know. If he's been thrusting his attentions upon Mr. Marmory, it is probably with some ulterior object. Not that any man would need an ulterior object for such attentions. Mr. Marmory is an object in herself.
Oh.
Of course, you know the police are interested in my cousin Bredon.
How thrilling.
What for?
For impersonating me, amongst other things. I cannot tell you in the brief time at our disposal the distress and humiliation I have been put to on Bredon's account. Bailing him out of police stations, honouring cheques drawn in my name, rescuing him from haunts of infamy. I'm telling you all these distressing details in confidence, of course.
We won't split.
He trades upon our unfortunate resemblance. He copies my habits, smokes my favourite brand of cigarettes, drives a car like mine.
Must be pretty well off to drive a car like that.
That is the most melancholy thing of all. But perhaps I had better not say anything about that.
Oh, do tell. It sounds too terribly breathtaking.
I suspect him of having to do with drug smuggling. I mean, dash it all, drug smuggling.
You don't say so.
Well, I can't prove it, but I have received warnings from a certain quarter, if you understand me. I don't want to interfere in your affairs in any way, Major Milligan. I trust that I shall never be called upon to do so, but you will perhaps allow me to give you and this lady a word of warning. Do not have too much to do with my cousin Bredon.
Yes, well, I'm much obliged to you for the warning, and so I'm sure is Mr. Mummery.
Of course, I'm frightfully glad to know all about it. Your cousin sounds a perfect pet. I like him dangerous. Pompous people are too terribly moribund, aren't they?
My dear lady, your choice of friends is entirely at your discretion.
I'm glad to hear it. I got the impression that the Duchess wasn't too fearfully anxious to have both arms round my neck.
Ah, the Duchess, no. There, I fear, all the discretion is on the other side, what? Which reminds me...
Yes, quite right. We've trespassed on your hospitality too long. We must really apologize and remove ourselves. Oh, by the way, there are some other members of our party.
I expect the Duchess will have dealt with them by now. If not, I'll make a point of seeing them and telling them that you've gone on.
You'd better come round and have a drink, too.
Alas, duty and all that sort of thing, don't you know? Can't leave my sister-in-law in the lurch, greatly as I should enjoy the entertainment. So, if you would excuse me now, I must see to our other guests. I was fetching an ice from Madame de Framboise Douillet.
Yes, of course.
Goodbye.
I wonder, was the fly too big and gaudy? Will he rise to it? We shall see. Ah, Willis. Hope I'm not disturbing you.
No. Come in, Bredon.
See here, Willis. I rather want your advice. Well, I know we don't seem to have hit it off very well, but since we both have to work in this place...
It's my fault, Bredon. I fancy I owe you some sort of apology. I appear to have been mistaken.
What exactly did you have against me? I never could make out what it was, to tell you the truth.
I thought you belonged to Victor Dean's beastly doping and drinking crowd. And I thought that you were trying to get Miss Dean, in among them again. She tells me that that is not the case. But, oh, hell.
What is the matter?
I'll tell you what's the matter. You went and forced yourself on Miss Dean. God knows what you told her, and she won't tell me. You made out you were a friend of her brother's or something. Was that true to start with?
Well, not quite as you put it. I made Miss Dean's acquaintance over a matter connected with her brother, but I'd never met him, and she knows that.
Well, what has it got to do with him, then?
I'm afraid I can't tell you that.
You might be a dope merchant yourself.
Well, I hadn't thought of that. But if I were, I doubt if I should need Miss Dean's introduction to that particular crowd. In fact, you can tell Miss Dean that my business is progressing very well, and that when I need her kind help again, I shall have no hesitation in calling her to my assistance. Now, is that all?
Yes, that's all.
You're sure, while you're about it, that there's nothing else you want to get off your chest?
No.
You don't sound very sure about it. You've been trying to tell me all this for some time now, I dare say.
No, not very long.
Willis, why did you come round to my house in Great Ormond Street the other night?
How did you know about that?
I didn't know, I guessed. As I said before, you would not make a very good detective, I'm afraid. You lost this pencil on that occasion, I believe.
A pencil? No, not that I know of. Where did you find that?
In Great Ormond Street.
Well, I don't think it's mine. I don't know. I think I've still got mine. Yes, here it is.
Oh. Oh, never mind. You came round that night intending to apologize, maybe?
No, I didn't. I came round to have an explanation with you. I wanted to bash your face in, if you must know. I went round there just before 10.
Did you ring the bell of my flat?
No, I didn't. No, I'll tell you why. I looked in your letterbox and I saw a letter there from Miss Dean and, well, I didn't care to go upstairs. I was afraid I might let myself go. I felt like murdering you. So, I went off and I wandered about until I was too done up to think.
I see. You didn't make any attempt to get hold of me at all?
No.
Oh, that's that. Oh, it's quite all right, doesn't matter. I was only a little bit puzzled about the pencil, that's all.
The pencil?
Yes, I found it on the top landing, you see, just outside my door. I couldn't quite understand how it got there, that's all.
Well, it wasn't me. I didn't go upstairs.
How long did you stay in the house?
Only a few minutes.
In the front hall, downstairs, all the time?
Yes.
Well, then, it can't have been your pencil. It's very odd, because these pencils aren't on the market, as you know.
Well, perhaps you dropped it yourself.
Perhaps I did. That seems the likeliest explanation, doesn't it? It's not of any importance.
What did you want to ask my advice about, Bredon?
About the old subject. Perhaps now that we've had this little explanation, you may find it easier to tell me what I want to know about Victor Dean. From his sister, I gather that he became infatuated with Diane de Montgomery. Diane de Montgomery finally shut down on him and sent him off home. That's true as far as it goes, I imagine.
Except I don't believe Victor Dean was ever infatuated with the de Montgomery woman.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was flattered, and I think that he thought he could make something out of her. As a matter of fact, he was a mean little beast.
Did she give him money?
Yes, she did. But he didn't get much out of that, because he found that crowd so expensive to run with. He wasn't naturally one of that sort. He didn't enjoy gambling, though he had to do it to keep in with them. And he wasn't a drinker. In some ways, I'd have liked him better if he had been. He wouldn't dope, either. I expect that's why Miss de Montgomery got tired of him.
Well, he must have had a pretty good reason for going round with the de Montgomery lot. As you say, they're expensive.
Yes. He must have seen something remunerative in the distance.
Exactly. Well, that's all rather by the way. What I wanted to know from you was this. Supposing he found out that somebody, say somebody in this office, as it might be yourself, had a skeleton in the closet, to use the pretty old metaphor. Was Victor Dean the kind of fellow to, dispose of that skeleton to the anatomist?
Blackmail, you mean?
Well, that's a strong word, but, call it that.
I don't quite know. But I can only say that the question gives me no shock. Mind you, I haven't the least reason to suppose that he ever did anything of the kind, and he certainly never seemed to be particularly flush of cash. Not that that's much to go by with a careful fellow like him. Unlike Tallboy, he wouldn't have let wads of banknotes come tumbling out of his desk.
You think the tumbling about of notes affords a presumption of innocence?
Oh, no, not a bit. Only of carelessness. And Dean certainly wasn't careless.
Well, thanks for speaking so frankly, Willis.
Oh, that's all right. Only, for goodness sake, don't let Pamela know what I've been saying about Victor. I've had enough trouble about that already.
Mum's the word, old chap. Well, must toddle off back to my own room now. Down here. Hello, tall boy.
Oh, hello, Bredon.
I say, you're looking a bit overdone.
I feel it. I was up all night. My wife... Well, the fact is my wife had a baby last night. That's really partly why... Oh, hell, what does it matter anyway?
Oh, I quite understand, quite understand. Very wearing business. Why didn't you take the day off?
Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. It's a busy day. Much better to occupy one's mind.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Tomkin, what do you want?
Any letters to go, sir?
Oh, no, thanks. Oh, yes, stop a minute. Yes, I've got one here. I've just got to address it. Lend me a pen one moment, Bredon.
Yes.
Thanks. Bredon, do you mind not reading over my shoulder?
Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm so sorry. I was snooping. Beastly habit. One catches it in the typist's room, don't you know?
Yes, that's all right. It's sending a note to my stockbroker.
A lucky man to have any stock to broke.
Here you are, Tomkin.
Very good, Mr. Tallboy.
And so ends an exhausting day, eh?
Well, all I can say is that you ought to watch your step, Peter. Paying social calls on Diane de Montgomery is one thing, but getting entangled with Milligan and his crowd's quite another.
Why do you say that?
Well, they're a dangerous lot. They're not going to be too pleased if they discover you snooping around.
That is exactly it, Charles. You see, I've primed them to believe that Bredon is a crook of the first order. A crook, moreover, who's got some involvement with the drug smugglers.
I don't really think Milligan's going to fall for all that. You mean he believed you when you warned him against your cousin, Bredon?
I rather think so, yes.
Well, I don't think you can be so sure.
Oh, but I do.
Why?
Because I've just received an invitation to call on Major Todd Milligan this very evening.
Good heavens.
Or rather, I should say, Bredon has received the invitation.
Well, I can only repeat it, Peter. For heaven's sake, be careful.
Since my virtuous cousin Wimsey has let the cat out of the bag, I may as well take off the old harlequin mask, what? I'm afraid, Mr. Marmory, my appearance will disappoint you. Except that I am handsomer and less rabbity-looking, and the woman who has seen Wimsey has seen me. It's a handicap to carry, but I can't help it. The resemblance, I'm happy to say, is only skin-deep.
It's almost incredible.
Isn't it?
Let me see you properly, Bredon.
You needn't come too close, Milligan. Even a face like Wimsey's is better than yours. Yours is spotty. You eat and drink too much. I take it that you want to get something out of me. People of your sort always do. What is it?
I've no objection to being frank with you.
How nice to hear anybody say that. It always prepares one for a lie to follow. Forewarned is forearmed, ain't it?
If you choose to think so. But I think you'll find it to your advantage to listen.
A financial advantage?
What other kind is there?
What indeed? I'm beginning to like your face a trifle better.
Oh, are you? Perhaps you like it well enough to answer a few questions.
Possibly.
We met your cousin at the Duchess of Denver's place. He said you were a dope runner.
Where my cousin Wimsey gets his information from, I'm damned if I know. Sometimes he's correct.
So why not come to the point?
As you say, why not? Is that the particular facet of my brilliant personality that interests you, Milligan?
Is that the particular facet of Victor Dean's personality that interests you?
1 point to me. Till this moment, I was not sure that it was a facet of his personality. Now I do. Dear me, how interesting it all is, to be sure.
If you can find out exactly how Victor Dean was involved in that show, it might be worth something to you. And to me.
Say on.
Did you learn from Pamela Dean what her brother's job was?
Yes, of course. He wrote Advertise and Coffee at a place called Pim's. There's no secret about that.
That's just what there is. And if that infernal young fool hadn't gone and got killed, we might have found out what it was and done ourselves a lot of good. As it is, I don't believe you know even as much as I do about the fella.
I don't. I never met him in my life. But I know a good deal about Pim's Publicity Limited.
How?
I work there.
Since when?
Since Dean's death.
Because of Dean's death, do you mean?
Yes.
How did you get onto it?
I received information, as my dear cousin Wimsey's police pals would say, that Dean was onto something fishy about Pim's. So, since most fish have gold in their mouths, like St. Peter's, I thought it wouldn't do any harm to try a cast or two over that particular pool.
What did you find?
My dear Milligan, you would make a cat laugh. I don't give away information. I dispose of it advantageously.
So do I.
As you like. You invited me here tonight. I wasn't looking for you. But there's one thing I don't mind telling you, because I've already told Mr. Marmory, and that is that Victor Dean was bumped off deliberately to prevent him from talking. So far, the only person I can discover who wanted him out of the way was yourself. The police might be interested to know that fact.
The police?
Oh, I quite agree. I don't like the police. They pay very badly, and they ask a hell of a lot of questions, but it might be useful to get on the right side of them for once.
That's all punk. You're barking up the wrong tree. I didn't kill the fella. I didn't want him killed.
Prove that.
Look, what do you want to know?
I want to know what you think Dean was in a position to find out.
Oh, I can tell you that. He'd found out who was running the show from Pim's end.
The dope show?
Yes. And he may have found out, too, the way it's run.
It's still being worked the same way, then?
So far as I know.
So far as you know? You don't seem to know very much.
Well, how do I know I can trust you, then?
Perhaps you'd like me to supply you. Huh? As a sample, you may be interested in the collar of my coat. It's remarkably handsome, is it not? A rich velvet. A little ostentatious, you may think. A little over-much buckram. Yeah, possibly you're right, but it's very well made. The opening is almost invisible. So, we delicately insert the forefinger and thumb, pull the tab gently, and produce this dainty bag of oiled silk. Fine as an onion skin, but remarkably tough. Within it you will discover sufficient inspiration for quite a number of enthusiasts. A magician's cloak. Such stuff as dreams are made on.
That's all right so far.
Where did you get it from?
What day did you get it?
Friday morning. Like yourself, I get it on Fridays.
Look here, Bredon. You and I have to be together on this. Diane, my child, run away and play. I'm going to talk business with your friend.
Well, that's a fine way to treat me in my own house.
Move.
All right, I'm going.
I'm going to tell you what I know, Bredon. If you double-cross me, it's at your own risk. I don't want any funny business with that damned cousin of yours. You've been warned, huh? Now, see here. If we can find out who works this thing and how it's worked, we can get in at the top. It's the man in the center of the ring that makes the big profits.
Exactly, Milligan. But what is it you know?
That the distribution of the dope is all worked from that advertising place of yours. Pim.
Uncovered a link between the death of Victor Dean, a copywriter with Pym's Publicity, and Major Todd Milligan, an unsavoury member of London's smart set. Wimsey suspects that Milligan's house is being used for the distribution of illegal drugs. Pretending to be Mr. Bredon, an unscrupulous copywriter from the same office as the late Victor Dean, Wimsey succeeds in gaining the confidence of Todd Milligan.
All right, Bredon, here's what I know. The distribution of the dope is all worked from that advertising place of yours, Pym's Publicity.
How fascinating, Milligan. And how do you know?
I found it out from a man who's dead now. I was dining with him one night at the Carlton. He was a bit lit up. A chap came in with a party, and this man said to me, "Know who that is?" "Not from Adam," I said. "Well, it's old Pym," he said, "the publicity agent." And then he laughed and said, if he only knew what his precious agency was doing, he'd have a fit. "Well, how's that?" I said. "Why," said he, "didn't you know all this dope traffic is worked from there?" Naturally, I started to ask him how he knew and all about it. But he suddenly got an attack of caution, and I couldn't get another word out of him. And the next evening, he was run over by a lorry and killed.
How remarkably well timed.
Yeah, I thought so myself. Made me rather nervous.
But how does Victor Dean come into it?
Ah, there I dropped a bad brick. Diane brought him along one evening, and when Diane introduced Dean and said he worked at Pym's, I thought he must be the man. But apparently he wasn't. But I'm afraid he got an idea about the thing from me. And after a bit I found out he was trying to horn in on my show, and I told Diane to shut down on him.
And shortly after that, he fell down a staircase.
Yes. But I didn't push him down. You needn't think that. I didn't want him snuffed out. I only wanted him kept out of the way. Dean was too much of a chatterer.
So, what you want, I take it, is the way the trick's worked, and the name of the man who works it. Well, I dare say I can find that out for you. How about terms?
Well, my idea is that we use the information to get into the inside ring ourselves, and each strike our own bargain.
Just so. Well, it's been a jolly useful little talk. I'll be in touch with you, Milligan.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
A slippery customer, that one.
Have you fixed things up with him, Todd?
Yes. He's a twister, Diane, but I'll make him see it'll pay him to be straight with me.
You had much better leave him alone.
Oh, you're talking rubbish.
I've warned you. Not that I care a damn what happens to you. You're getting on my nerves, Todd. It's going to be great fun to see you come to smash. But you'd better keep off that man.
Thinking of selling me, are you?
Why do you have to be so vulgar, Todd?
Well, what's the matter with you, then?
I'm frightened, that's all. It's unlike me, isn't it?
Frightened? Well, that advertising crook.
Really, Todd, you're a fool sometimes. You can't see a thing when it's under your nose. It's written too big for you to see, I suppose.
You're drunk. Just because you haven't managed to get off with this joker of yours.
Shut up! Get off with him. I'd as soon get off with a public hangman.
I dare say you would. Any new sensation would do for you. Well, what do you want, Diane? A row? Because if so, I'm afraid I can't be bothered to oblige you.
No. I'm through with you, that's all. I'm cold. I'm going to bed. Todd?
What?
Did you kill Victor Dean?
I did not.
A meal begun with Blagg's tomato softens every husband's hearto. Yes, that's not bad. Hubbies hold those wives most dear who offer them Blagg's turtle clear. Well, even better. Fit for an alderman, serve it up quick. Rumtity, rumtity, Blagg's turtle thick. Hello, tall boy, what can I do for you? Don't tell me new tracks has developed any more innuendos.
What? Oh, no. No. Do you play cricket, Bredon?
Well, I used to play for Ox. I played a good deal of country house cricket in the old days, don't you know? But I am rapidly qualifying to be called a veteran. Why?
I've got to scrape up an 11 for a match against Brotherhoods. We play them every year. They always beat us, of course, because they've got their own playing fields and play together regularly. But Pym likes it to be done. He thinks it fosters fellow feeling between client and agent and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, when does he come off?
Saturday fortnight.
Well, I dare say I might be able to keep my end up for a bit if you can't get anybody better.
You anything of a bowler?
No, nothing, I'm afraid.
Better with the willow than the leather, eh?
Well, I suppose so, yes.
Right. You wouldn't care to open the batting with Ingleby, would you?
Well, I'd rather not. Put me down somewhere near the tail.
Just as you like.
Who captains this 11?
Well, I do as a rule. At least we always ask Hankin or Pym, just out of compliment, but they generally decline with thanks. Well, righto. I'll just buzz round and see that the others are okay. Mr. Garrett, you wouldn't be interested in
If
playing...
it's the cricket match, tall boy.
Well, yes, it is, as a matter of fact.
Why wasn't I selected from the very start?
Well, you were. That is, you would have been, but, well, you know, Bredon being new and...
What you mean is somebody's scratched and now you need me.
Well, yes, somebody did drop out.
Look, if you had come to me in the first instance, tall boy, and put the matter to me in a friendly way, I should say nothing about it. I like Mr. Bredon, and I appreciate that he's had advantages that I haven't had. He's a very gentlemanly fellow, and I should be very happy to make way for him. But to drop me just like that and then come running... I do not care for having things done behind my back in a hole-and-corner fashion.
Come, Garrett, you're not Jack Hobbs, you know. Of course, I don't know about you, but I've always been accustomed to have these things settled by whoever was appointed to select the team, and to play or not, according as I was put down.
Oh, yes, well, you would say that. I'm quite aware, Torbo, that I never was at a public school, but that is no reason why I shouldn't be treated with ordinary common courtesy. And from those who have been to real public schools, I get it once more. You may think a lot of Dumbleton, but it isn't what I would call a public school.
And what would you call a public school, Garrett?
Eton and Harrow. And, Rugby and Winchester and places like those. Places where they send gentlemen's sons to.
Oh, do they?
Excuse me.
I suppose you're sending your sons to Eton, then, eh, Garrett?
You cad! You unspeakable swine! Get out of here or I'll kill you!
What the devil's the matter with you?
Get out!
Mr. Tallboy, if I could have a word with you for a moment. Mr. Tallboy, what possessed you to say that to Mr. Garrett?
What do you mean, Mr. Hankin? I really think it's none of your business.
Didn't you know that Mr. Garrett has only got one boy?
Well?
He's feeble-minded.
No, I didn't know. How should I be expected to know anything about Garrett's family? Oh, good God, I'm damn sorry and all that, but why must the fellow be such an ass? He's got a mania about public schools. Eton, indeed. I don't wonder the boy's feeble-minded if he takes after his father.
What incredible luck you do have, Peter.
Not so much luck, Charles. Good guidance, that's all. Anyway, I sent the fair Diane an anonymous letter, solemnly warning her against Cousin Bredon, and informing her that if she wants to know the worst about me, she had only to inquire at my brother-in-law's address. You know, it's a curious thing, Charles, but people cannot resist anonymous letters. It's like free sample offers. They appeal to all one's lower instincts.
You're a devil. One of these days you'll get into trouble. Suppose Milligan had recognized you.
I prepared his mind to accept a striking resemblance.
I wonder he didn't see through it. Family resemblances don't usually extend to details of teeth and so on.
I never let him get close enough to study details.
Well, that ought to have made him suspicious.
No, because I was rude to him about it. He believed me all the time simply because I was rude. Everyone suspects an eager desire to curry favour, but rudeness, for some reason, is always accepted as a guarantee of good faith. The only man who ever managed to see through rudeness was St. Augustine, and I don't suppose Milligan reads the Confessions. Besides, he wanted to believe me. He's greedy.
Well, no doubt you know your own business. But about this Victor Dean affair, do you really believe that the head of this particular dope gang is on Pym's staff? It sounds quite incredible.
Which is an excellent reason for believing it. I don't mean that in a credo quia impossibile sense, but merely because the staff of a respectable advertising agency would be such an excellent hiding place for a big crook. The particular crookedness of advertising is so very far removed from the crookedness of dope trafficking.
Why? As far as I can make out, all advertisers are dope merchants.
So they are. Yes, now I come to think of it, there is a subtle symmetry about the thing which is extremely artistic. All the same, Charles, I must admit that I find it difficult to go the whole way with Milligan. I have carefully reviewed the staff of Pym's, and I have so far failed to find anyone who looks in the least like a Napoleon of crime.
But you seem convinced that the murder of Victor Dean was an inside job. Or do you now think that some stranger was hiding on the roof and did away with Dean because he was on the point of splitting on the gang? I suppose an outsider could get access to Pym's roof.
Oh, easily, but that wouldn't explain the catapult wiped clean of fingerprints.
Nor the attack on me.
Not if the same person that killed Dean attacked you, too.
Meaning that it might have been Willis. I take it that Willis is not the Napoleon of crime anyhow.
Willis ain't a Napoleon of anything. Nor, I fancy, is the chap with the catapult. If he had been, he'd have had the common sense to use his own catapult and destroy it afterwards. As I see him, Charles, he is a person of considerable ingenuity but limited foresight. A person who snatches at the first thing that is offered him and does his best with it, but lacks just that little extra bit of consideration that would make the thing a real success. He lives from hand to mouth, as you might say. I dare say I could spot him without much difficulty, but that's not what you want, of course, is it? You'd rather have the Napoleon of the dope traffic, wouldn't you? If he exists, that is.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, we've had one lead. Could be interesting. Chap by the name of Hector Punchin.
What an odd name.
The whole business is darned odd. This chap Punchin, who's a reporter with the Morning Gazette, goes into a Covent Garden pub called the White Swan. There he chances upon an extremely drunk gentleman in dress clothes who proceeds to barge into him, cling onto him for support, and generally paw him pretty thoroughly all over.
Unpleasant.
Well, young Punchin didn't think much about it until he got home and found a packet of white powder in his pocket. He assumed it was bicarb of soda or something. Well, of course, it wasn't.
And he thinks the drunken gentleman in dress clothes popped it into his pocket?
Exactly. Now, either it was just a drunken mistake by some dope maniac,
or else Punchin accidentally stumbled on a whole distribution system.
Possibly.
Ah.
The thing is, what are we to do? We could raid the pub, of course, but I don't think that would be advisable. We probably shouldn't find anything, and we should merely give the alarm to no purpose. We want the top people. Well, take even this man Milligan, who's a pest to the first water. Suppose we punish him here and now. They'd only start again with a new distributor and a new house for him to run his show in, and what would anybody gain by that?
Exactly. But how much better off will you be if you catch the man above Milligan? The same thing will apply.
I don't know, Peter. Well, there's no good worrying about it. My job's to catch the heads of the gangs if I can, and after that, as many as possible of the little people. I can't overthrow cities and burn the population.
'Tis the last judgment's fire must cure this place. Calcine its clods and set its prisoners free.
At the present moment, Peter, I must say you're not being very helpful. You've been investigating a crime, if it is a crime, for some weeks now, and the only tangible result is a broken collarbone for me.
Excuse me, Inspector.
What is it, Constable?
There's a Mr. Puncheon on the phone for you, sir. Says he needs to speak to you urgent, sir.
Oh, put him on. Hello? Chief Inspector Parker. Yes? What? Oh, where? Right. Where are you now? A cafe. Where? Right, I got that. I'll have 2 men go straight there. Oh, now listen, Puncheon. If your suspect leaves the cafe before my men get there, keep on his tail and phone the cafe with your whereabouts as soon as you can. Right, good man. That was Puncheon.
So I gathered.
Thinks he spotted the man who slipped him the dope. Saw him outside the Morning Gazette offices this morning buying an early paper or something. Been chasing him ever since, apparently. He couldn't get to a phone before. Must push off. Cheerio, Peter.
Bang her. Oh, Charles?
Yes?
And you said I had incredible luck?
Well, according to the note, Sergeant, Puncheon's had his breakfast in this cafe, and he's off again. Says he'll phone us here as soon as he gets a chance. He thinks the man knows he's being followed.
There, that's an amateur all over. Of course he lets the bloke know he's being followed. If one of those newspaper fellas was a blue bottle and had to follow an elephant, he'd get buzzing in the elephant's ear so as he'd know what he was up to.
That's very good, Sarge.
Sergeant lumley to you, Constable. 10 to 1 punch to losing for keeps now. Getting us pushed off here without our breakfasts.
Well, there ain't no reason why we shouldn't have our breakfasts, seeing as we are here.
Oh, I don't mind if I do. If only we're allowed to eat our kippers in peace. But you mark my words, you'll start ringing up again before we has time to swallow a bite. Parker says that if Puncheon rings up from somewhere else, we better take a taxi. Oh, and my kippers. Top. Save time, he says. How's he think we're going to pick up a taxi here? Nothing but blinking trams.
Oh, order the taxi now, so's to be in readiness, like.
What? And have it ticking up the threepences for nothing? Think they'll call that legitimate expenses? Not half. You pay that out of your own pocket, my man. That's what they'll say, the lousy skinflints.
Well, have your grub.
I hope it's a good kipper, that's all. Looks oily, it do. Hope it's cooked. Eat a kipper what ain't properly cooked through and you get kipper on your breath for the rest of the day. Ow! Beats me why God Almighty wanted to put such a lot of bones into them things.
You didn't ought to question the ways of God Almighty.
You keep a civil tongue in your head, my lad, and don't go forgetting what's due to my position.
Well, there ain't no position in the eyes of the Almighty. If it pleases him to make you a sergeant, that's one thing. But it won't do you no good when you comes before him to answer to the charge of questioning his ways with kippers. Come to think of it, in his sight, you and me is just the same as worms, with no bones at all.
You ought to know better than to talk about worms when a man's eating his breakfast. It's enough to take anyone's appetite away. And let me tell you, Constable, worms or no worms, if I have any more lip from you... Oh, drat that telephone. What did I tell you? Hello? Yes? Where? You sure? Right, we're on our way. Right, Constable, let's go.
Right, Sergeant.
Reckon he's heading for South Kensington Tube Station. Here, stand aside now, please. Officers of the law. Where's a doctor? Eagle, send for a doctor, quick, and ring Parker.
Right, Sarge.
You, tell the station master to turn off the electricity. Hurry up. This one's going to be all right. Oh, I reckon the other one's done for, though.
He's coming round.
How are you feeling now, sir?
Bloody. What happened?
Why, sir, a poor gentleman fell off the platform and took you with him.
Oh, yes, of course. Is he all right?
Afraid not, sir. Here, take a pull of this, sir. Brandy. Gently now. Easy. That's it.
That's better. All right, don't fuss.
Come on now, stand back there, right back.
Limbs all correct?
Head apparently sound, though it aches like hell. Ribs? Not so sure about those. Something gone there, I'm afraid. Pelvis intact, thank goodness.
The doctor will be here in a minute, sir.
Doctor be damned. I'm a doctor myself. Spine's all right. I don't think anything's broken to speak of.
Oh, very glad to hear that, sir.
It's the footboard of the train that got me, I fancy. I remember being rolled round and round like a pat of butter between two what's-its-names. And I saw the wheels of the train get slower and slower and stop, and I said to myself, this is it. You're for it, my lad. Time's stopped. And this is eternity. But I see I was mistaken.
Happily so, sir.
Wish I'd been able to stop that other poor devil, though. Dead, is he?
Yes, sir. Very. Now, if you could just tell me, sir, exactly how all this occurred.
Damned if I know myself. All I know is I was standing just about here when the fellow passed me. I noticed he was looking rather queer. Heart subject, I should think. He suddenly stopped and then came towards me. I caught hold of his arm, and then he lurched over with all his weight and dragged me over with him. And then I can't remember anything but the noise of the train and the tremendous size of the wheels and the feeling of having the breath squeezed out of me. I must have dropped him, I suppose.
Oh, no wonder. Now, if I could just have some details, sir. Your name?
My name's Garfield. Dr. Herbert Garfield.
You all right, sir?
Yes, I'm all right. I can stand. Here's my card, if you should need to contact me.
Oh, very well, sir, if you feel certain.
Yes, thank you. I do.
All right, stand back there now.
Inspector Parker's on his way, Sarge.
Yes, but where on earth is Punchin?
How's Punchin, by the way, Charles?
Still unconscious. Got slugged rather badly. We're obviously dealing with a gang that's totally ruthless.
Yes, I'm inclined to agree. And the drunken gentleman in the dress clothes was well and truly mangled by the train.
Not much doubt about that, I'm afraid. Punchin lost him near the station, and Lumley and Eagles arrived just after he'd fallen onto the tracks.
Fallen?
What do you mean by that?
Well, when a man you've been chasing elaborately all over London has the impudence to be killed just when you are on the point of catching him, when he turns out to have no tailor's name on his clothes and nothing to identify him by, when his face is smashed into a pulp so you cannot usefully circulate his photograph, well, it's all extraordinary bad luck, ain't it?
All we've got to go on is a laundry mark on his shirt. No doubt we shall end up by having to circularize the laundries.
This, I presume, is his top hat. Mysteriously uninjured.
Oh, it had rolled beyond the train onto the farther line.
Ah. And here again the maker's gold imprint, you see, has been removed. How absurd, Charles. I mean, one does not, well, at least you and I and this gentleman do not, consider the brand to be the guarantee of quality. For us, the quality guarantees the brand. There are two hatters in London, Charles, who could have made this hat. You have doubtlessly already observed that the crown is markedly dolichocephalic, while the curve of the brim is also characteristic. Send one of your sleuths to each of these establishments and ask for the customer with the elongated head who has a fancy for this type of brim. Don't waste your time on laundry marks, which are at best tedious and at worst deceptive.
Thanks, Peter. I thought you might be able to put your finger either on the hatter or the tailor.
So you see, Bredon, unless we come up with a really fresh campaign to sell whifflets, their rivals are absolutely going to run away with the market.
Yes, I see that, Mr. Hankin, but what is it exactly the puffin cigarettes are doing that's wreaking all this ghastly havoc?
They're giving away aeroplanes.
Aeroplanes?
Yes. You see, in every packet of puffins, they're enclosing a coupon bearing the name of a component part of a popular little touring plane, suitable for amateur use. When you've collected your complete set of parts, numbering 100, you send in your coupons together with a brief essay on the importance of air-mindedness for British boys. The writer of the best essay each week becomes the recipient of a private plane and a course of free instruction enabling him or her to take out an air pilot's certificate.
Good gracious me.
Well, as you've probably seen, the scheme is supported by heavy advertising. The schemes also got the support of several notable airmen, whose faces, adorned with flying helmets, are grinning out from some newspaper every day with their considered opinions that puffins are doing valuable work in helping to establish British supremacy in the air.
And whifflets are understandably upset, what?
I'll say they're upset.
I bet they are.
They want to know why Pims didn't have the idea first.
Well, what are we going to do about it,
We've got to cope. We must head them off the idea of a rival aeroplane scheme. The country isn't ready to be cluttered up with aeroplanes, and fathers and families are beginning to complain about it.
Quite right.
Even today, few fathers care about having private aeroplanes delivered to their daughters in quiet suburban areas. What we want is a new scheme, on similar lines, but with more family appeal. But it must boost Britain. We've got to have that patriotic note.
Oh, righty-ho. Well, I'll try and work something out.
Very good.
Whifflets. If you want... No, that's no good. Now, let me see. If that's what you want, you can whiffle for it. Oh, I say, that's not bad. Or perhaps, oh, yes, even better. All you want by whiffling. Yes, that might work. Bredon here.
Peter, it's Charles. Have you seen the evening paper?
No, working later, lad. Or rather, whiffling late, to be more accurate.
Milligan's dead.
What?
Yes, killed by a lorry which skidded onto the pavement.
My God, they were...
led him to believe that a system of drug smuggling is being coordinated from an advertising agency called Pims Publicity. One of the suspects in the case is spotted and followed, but dies under the wheels of an underground train in South Kensington Station. Lord Peter Wimsey suspects that a Dr. Garfield, who was on the scene at the time, is far from being an innocent spectator. Suddenly, all the threads of the case begin to come together.
Well, Peter, we've tracked down the poor fellow who got in the way of the train. Name of Mountjoy. Lived alone in a neat little bachelor flat. Seems to have been a gentleman of independent means, as the commissionaire put it. But who was he? What was he up to? Why did he have to be suppressed?
Well, it's pretty clear what he was up to. He was engaged in the dope traffic, and he was suppressed because he'd been fool enough to let our reporter friend Puncheon recognise and follow him.
But where's the dope?
Oh, really, Charles? Mountjoy was going to fetch the dope. Haven't you yet grasped that he is part of the Milligan crowd, and that Friday is their day for distributing the stuff? The Milligans get it on Friday and give house parties on Friday and Saturday nights when it goes into the hands of the actual addicts. It is rather surprising, though, that Garfield and co. left Mountjoy's flat alone. Are you quite sure there were no visitors on the day Mountjoy was killed?
Oh, yes, I checked that carefully with the servants. No one at all, apart from the post office man to bring the new telephone directories.
The what?
Telephone directories.
In the plural?
Yes, he brought 2 new volumes.
Charles, that is it.
What's what?
The fellow who brought the new volumes and took the old ones away. The man was obviously a charlatan. Since when, Charles, has the post office taken to get in both volumes of the London Directory out at once?
By Jove!
Ring up now and find out when the post office last changed the telephone directories in Mountjoy's area.
Well, Peter, the area where Mountjoy lives received their new L to Z volume a fortnight ago. The new A to K volume isn't due to be issued yet.
Then that settles it. Our friend Mountjoy kept his secrets in the telephone directories. That's why the gang wanted them to remove the evidence. Now then, where do all good telephone directories go when they die?
The pulping mills, probably.
And the last legitimate post office exchange of the L to Z volumes was made a fortnight ago. Do you know there is a chance that it hasn't been pulped yet? Get on to it, Charles, get on to it. There is also a chance that it was marked.
You may be right. It's a chance, as you say. Oh, that's about 500 telephone directories we've checked now, Peter, and there still isn't one that looks in any way of use to us.
Now, wait a moment, Charles, wait a moment. Do you know, I think this is the one.
What is it?
Look, a whole list of public houses in central London have been ticked off. 3 in the middle L's, 2 near the end of the M's, 1 in the N's, 1 in the O's, and 2 in the middle of the W's. The 2 in the W's are the White Stag in Wapping and the White Stoat off Oxford Street. The next W after that, Charles, is the White Swan in Covent Garden. I would bet any money that in the new L to Z volume that was carried away by that charlatan Johnny, remember, the White Swan was duly ticked off in turn.
The White Swan in Covent Garden, where we first came across Mountjoy.
Exactly. Now, I am making rather a long cast, but I suggest this. The stuff comes up to London on a Thursday. It is taken to whichever pub stands next on the list in the directory. 1 week it will be a pub with a name in A, say Anchor. Next week it will be a B, the Bull and Dog or the Bricklayer's Arms. The week after that it will be a C, and so on to W, X, Y, Z if there are any. The people who have to call for their dope wander into the pub indicated, where it is slipped to them by the head distributor and his agents, probably quite without the knowledge of the proprietor. And since it never comes twice to the same place, your pretty policeman can go and talk to the customers in the White Swan till they are blue in the face.
Parker here? Yes? Where? Right. Don't touch anything till I get there. Peter, it's Diana de Montmoret.
What's the matter with her?
She's dead. Found with her throat cut.
Oh, dear God.
You know, what I don't understand, Miss Meatyard, is where Mr. Tallboy gets all his money. I mean, I still can't think where that £50 in the envelope came from.
Perhaps he did rather well with his stockbrokers. You know, the famous firm of Smith, 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 Smith and Smith Unlimited.
I don't know what the directors would think if they knew about him and his £50.
Directors are the last people to hear anything about the staff. Otherwise they wouldn't be able to stand on their hind legs at the staff dinner and shoot off speeches about cooperation and all being one happy family. Which reminds me, I wonder how much the directors know about our Mr. Bredon.
Do you mean, Miss Meatyard?
Well, you know, there are a few things about Mr. Bredon that don't add up. And what's more, I've begun to realise he bears an uncanny resemblance to someone whose photograph was all over the papers a few years back. Oh, in connection with some ghastly murder or something. Now, where's that copy of Who's Who? Oh, yes, got it.
I hardly think you're going to find Mr. Bredon in the pages of Who's Who.
I'm not so sure. Let's see, what was the name? Wimsey. Yes, W. Now listen to this. Wimsey. Peter Death Bredon. Lord, D.S.O., born 1890.
Good heavens.
Second son of Mortimer Gerald Bredon Wimsey, 15th Duke of Denver, and Honoria Lucasta, daughter of Francis Delgardi of Bellingham Manor, Bucks. Education, Eton College and Balliol.
Oh, dear, Miss Meatyard. What are we going to do?
I think the best thing we can do is leave well alone. Let's keep this strictly to ourselves for the time being, Miss Rossiter.
Morning, Charles.
Hello, Peter. Where have you been?
I have news for thee, old Parker Bird. I have just paid a call on Tallboy's stockbroker.
What's his stockbroker to do with it?
Well, I caught the name and address on an envelope Tallboy was scribbling in the office one day. A chap by the name of Smith said he was his stockbroker. Well, I tootled along there this morning. Not a stockbroker in sight. It's the address of a grubby little tobacconist. What's more, his name ain't Smith either. It is Cummins.
Really?
Yes. But he keeps getting letters addressed to Smith, which he invariably sends back.
Well, we must get on to the returned letter office immediately.
I already have been there.
Oh.
And they told me there that a letter addressed to Smith goes to Cummins' place every week, which he immediately returns. They open it at the post office, of course, but are unable to return them to the sender.
Why?
All the letters ever contain is a blank sheet of paper.
I see.
They've agreed to keep the next letter and let me have it. All the others have been destroyed.
Does this mean that Tallboy is the one we're after?
Frankly, Charles, I do not understand it. I can't see him as the big bug in all this business. If he were, his money wouldn't be coming to him in £50 instalments. But there is a connection, you know, there must be.
Possibly he's only a small item in the account.
Well, possibly. But I cannot get over something that Milligan once said to me. According to his information, the whole show is run from Pimm's.
Yes, but how and why? What's advertising got to do with it? Murder doesn't want to advertise. Far from it.
I don't know, Charles. I do not know yet. But I've been working on this thing. You got a diary, Charles?
Yes, here.
Ah, thank you. Now then, now, you see this date?
Yes.
That is the Tuesday before the Friday on which drugs were being served out at the White Swan. Now, on that Tuesday, Tallboy passed the New Tracks headline for publication the following Friday. And what was the headline? It was Why Blame the Woman? You will note, Charles, that it begins with a W. White Swan also begins with a W. Got that?
Yes, of course I've got that, Peter, but I don't see the connection.
Now, Charles, all right. All the New Tracks advertisements are passed for press on a Tuesday and appear on a Friday.
Right.
Fine. Now, perpend, Charles. Mr. Tallboy, who you may recall is group manager for the New Tracks account, has a habit of sending letters on a Tuesday addressed to a Mr. Smith, who, may I remind you, does not appear to exist. Now, the point is that Mr. Smith ain't always the same Mr. Smith. But on the day that the New Tracks headline began with a T, Mr. Smith was a Mr. T. Smith.
And what sort of Mr. Smith was he on the day that the New Tracks headline began with a W?
Unfortunately, I don't know, but I can guess that it was a Mr. W. Smith.
I think you want a little more evidence on that point. You don't seem to have any instance where you can point to the initial, the headline, and the pub all together.
That is the weak point. But now look here. This Tuesday is the date on which the great New Tracks row occurred.
Mm-hmm.
And the headline was altered at the last moment on Thursday night. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Now, on the Friday of that week, something went wrong with the supply of dope to Milligan. It never turned up.
Peter, I do believe you've got hold of something.
Do you, Charles? Well, so do I, but I wasn't sure if it would sound plausible to anybody but me.
But how's it worked, Peter?
Well, I don't know the details, but I imagine it's done this way. On the Tuesday, as soon as the headline's decided, Tallboy sends an envelope to the shop addressed to A. Smith or B. Smith, Esquire, according to the initial of the headline. Tallboy's so-called stockbroker looks at it, snorts, and hands it back to the postman. Then he informs the head distributing agent or agents what the code letter is. The stuff is run across on Thursday, and the agent meets it. Then he gets the London telephone directory and looks up the next pub on the list whose name begins with the letter which our stockbroker friend has told him. As soon as the pub opens on Friday morning, he's there. The retail agents, if we can call them so, have meanwhile consulted the Morning Gazette and the telephone directory. They hasten to the pub, and the packets are passed to them. Now, the ingenuity of the thing, Charles, is that the stuff is never distributed twice from the same place.
No wonder I had difficulties.
Yes, and no wonder they're prepared to go to such lengths to protect the system.
You'd better stay away from the office from now on, Peter. Remember Diane? It's getting much too dangerous.
I'm afraid I've got to play in a cricket match tomorrow afternoon, Charles. Pims versus Brotherhoods. One of their clients, don't you know?
Oh, cricket match be damned. I don't know, though. It's nice and public. Provided the fast bowler doesn't knock you out with a swift ball, it may be as safe as anywhere else.
Oh, well run, sir. Mr. Torboy, why on earth did you send this man in ninth? He's a cricketer. He's the only cricketer among the whole damn lot of you.
Well, Mr. Brotherhood, he's a new member of staff, name of Bredon. He's a public school man, and he said he'd done a good deal of country house cricket, but I had no idea he could play like this.
Oh, good God, one more and Pims will have won.
Mr. Brotherhood, I've never seen anything like it.
Haven't you? Oh, well, now, I've been watching cricket, man and boy, for 60 years, and I've seen something very like it. Let me see, before the war, that would be the Varsity match of 1911. No, 1910. Torboy, what did you say that fellow's name was?
Bredon.
Beautifully played, sir. Beautifully
well done, Bredon. Well done. You won the game.
Wait a minute. Pardon me. The name's just come to my recollection. Aren't you Wimsey of Balliol?
What?
Didn't I see you play for Oxford 1911? Peter Wimsey of Balliol. Lord Peter Wimsey. Yes, that's it.
Wimsey?
Yes.
Did you say Wimsey?
Yes.
Well, I thought your name was Bredon.
It is, Mr. Torboy. Bredon is my name.
Nonsense, Wimsey. I remember you distinctly.
Excuse me, would you? Do you mind? A mustache. Good evening, Mr. Tallboy. I think you'd better come in. You're looking rather rotten.
Thank you.
Perhaps you'd like a spot of something. Sit down, my lad. Sit down. There. Drink that. Better?
Yes. I'm sorry to have made a fool of myself, Bredon. Lord Peter, I came to you...
You came to me to find out how much I knew?
Yes. No. I came because I couldn't stick it out any longer. I came to tell you all about it.
Well, now, wait a minute. There's something that I must tell you first. It's all out of my hands now, you understand. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's very much you can tell me. The game's up, old man. I'm sorry, I really am sorry, because I think you've been having a perfectly bloody time. But there it is. Have another drink.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm rather glad in a way. Oh, thank you. If it wasn't for my wife and the kid... Oh, God, I've been a bloody fool.
Well, most of us are at one time or another. I'm damn sorry, old chap.
I'd like to tell you... I realise that it's all up now, but I think you might understand. I say, what put you onto this?
That letter of Victor Dean's. Do you remember it? The one he threatened to write to Pym. He showed it to you, I fancy.
The little swine. Yes, he did. Didn't he destroy it?
No, he didn't.
I see. It all started about 2 years ago. I was rather hard up and I wanted to get married. I'd been losing money on horses as well, and things were not too good. I met a man at a restaurant. I happened to mention where I was working. He seemed to be thinking a bit after that, and then he asked a good many questions about how advertisements were put together and sent to the papers and so on, and whether I was in a position to know beforehand what the headlines were going to be. So I said, of course, there were some accounts that I knew all about, such as new tracks. Then he suddenly asked me if I could do with an extra 1,000 a year, and I said, couldn't I? Lead me to it. He said, if I would let him know every Tuesday the initial letter of the new track's headline for the following Friday, I should be well paid for it. So I said I'd do it, and we fixed up a code.
Yes, I know all about that. It was very ingenious and simple. The letters to Smith. Didn't this man give you any reasons for his rather remarkable request?
He said he was fond of having a bit of a bet with some friends of his about one thing and another, and his idea was to bet on the initial letter of each week's headline.
Ah, I see. He would be bet in on a certainty as often as he liked. Yeah, plausible. Not criminal, but just dirty enough to explain the insistence on secrecy.
Well, I fell for it. I was damned hard up, so I buzzed off the first 2 code letters, and at the end of the fortnight I got my £50. I was heavily in debt, and I used it. After that, well, I hadn't the courage to chuck it.
No, it'd be rather hard, I should think.
Hard? You don't know, Bredon. Wimsey, I'm sorry. You don't know what it means to be stuck for money. So, I went on. And then somehow that little devil Dean got hold of it. He started to put the screw on. First of all, he wanted to go 50-50, and then he demanded more. My wife was having a baby. I needed the money. And then, one day I felt I couldn't stand it any longer. I told Dean I was chucking the whole show, and he could do as he damn well pleased. And then he informed me that he was going to get his shot in first, and showed me the letter he was sending to Pym. That finished me, and I begged him to hold off for a week or two while I thought things over. What happened about that letter exactly?
His sister found it amongst his things and sent it on to Pym, and he engaged me, through a friend, to inquire into it.
Ah.
Perhaps I had better tell you the next bit. You thought it over and decided that Victor Dean was a wart and a scab, and would be no great loss to the world. Now, one day you heard that Ginger Joe had had his catapult confiscated. You realized how easily a man could be plugged through the skylight as he went down the iron staircase. If the blow didn't kill him, then the fall might, and it would be, well worth trying.
You really do know all about it, then?
I'm afraid so. Well, then the day came for putting Dean away. A nice, bright day when all the skylights were open. Then you went up onto the roof with the catapult. Oh, yes, and the scarab. It was a very good idea to use the scarab, because if anybody found it, they would naturally think it had tumbled out of his pocket as he fell.
I'd seen the scarab on Dean's desk after lunch. I knew he often kept it there. I rang up Dean on my telephone and said I was speaking for Mr. Hankin from the big conference room, and would Mr. Dean please come down about the Crunchlets copy and bring the Times Atlas with him from my room. While he went for it, I pinched the scarab and slipped up onto the roof. I was pretty sure he'd go by the iron staircase, because that was the nearest way from my room to the conference room. Anyway, he came along all right, and I shot at him through the skylight when he was about 4 steps down the staircase. I stayed up on the roof till the fuss was over, and then came down quietly by the stairs. I didn't meet a soul, of course. They were all holding post-mortems and hanging round the corpse. When I knew I'd succeeded, I didn't care. I was glad. And I tell you this, if I hadn't been found out, I shouldn't care now.
I can sympathize with that.
They asked me for a shilling for the little beast's wreath. I'd gladly have given him 20 shillings or £20 even. And then you came along. I didn't suspect anything till you started to talk about catapults. And then I got badly frightened and, well, I'm afraid I tried to do away with you.
Yes, well, we'll draw a veil over that. You must have got a bit of a shock when you found you'd slugged the wrong man.
Yes, I did.
Well, I suppose that was when you shone a torch or struck a light or something and saw Pamela Dean's letter.
Yes, I knew her writing. I'd seen it in Dean's room, and I knew her writing paper, too.
Ah.
Willis had told me that you and Pamela Dean were thick as thieves. I thought the letter might be telling you all about Dean and me. I didn't know quite what I thought, to tell you the truth. Then, when I found out my mistake, I got frightened and thought I'd better not try again.
I was expecting you. When nothing came of it, I began to think it hadn't been you at all, but somebody else.
Did you know by then that the other thing was me?
I didn't know it was you. You were one of several possibilities. But after the new tracks row and the £50 in notes...
You know, I was horribly careless and incompetent all through. Those letters, I ought never to have sent them from the office.
No, you oughtn't. And the catapult. You should have taken the trouble to make your own, you know. A catapult without fingerprints is something very unusual.
Ah, so that was it. I'm afraid I've made an awful mess of everything. I couldn't even do a simple murder. Wimsey, how much longer is it going to hang on? I've been in torment. I've been trying to give myself up, but well, my wife... Why haven't I been arrested before this?
They've been waiting. You see, tall boy, you aren't really as important as this dope gang. Once you were arrested, they would stop their little game, and we didn't want them to stop. I'm afraid you're the tethered kid, old lad, left there to trap the tigers.
When? When?
Tonight.
Wimsey, you've been frightfully decent to me. Tell me, is there any way out? It isn't myself exactly, but my wife and the kids. Pointed at all their lives. It's damnable. You couldn't give me 24 hours.
You wouldn't pass the ports.
If I were alone, I'd give myself up. I would, honestly.
There is an alternative.
I know. I've thought about that. I suppose that's the public school way out of it. Yes, all right. They'll hardly make a headline of it, though, will they? Suicide of old Dumbletonian wouldn't have much news value. Never mind, damn it. We'll show them that Dumbledon can achieve the Eton touch. Why not?
Good man. Have another drink. I think there is one other way out.
What?
It won't help you, but it may make all the difference to your wife and family.
How?
They need never know anything about all this. Nothing. Nobody need ever know anything. If you do as I tell you.
My God, Wimsey, what do you mean? Tell me quickly, I'll do anything.
It won't save you.
Oh, that doesn't matter, tell me.
If you go to the window, you will observe a man waiting outside in the shadows.
Yes?
He must have followed you here. You'll have had his instructions. Go home now. Go on foot. Not too fast. And don't look behind you.
I understand. Very well.
Quickly, then.
Good night. And good luck.
Thank you, tall boy. Good night. Hello?
Peter? Bagged the whole crew. We let the other stuff go up to town. What do you think it went as? Travellers' samples. One of those closed cars with blinds all round.
That's where they made it into packets, then?
Yes. We watched our man into the Stag. Then we pulled in the motorboat and the car. Then we kept our eye on the pub and let the birds hop out into our arms one after another. It went off beautifully. No hitch at all.
Oh, good.
Oh, and by the way, their code word. We ought to have thought of that. It was just anything to do with new tracks. Some of them had the Morning Gazette showing the ad, and some of them just mentioned new tracks for nerves. One chap had a bottle of the stuff in his pocket. Another had it written on a shopping list, and so on.
Well, that explains Hector Punchin.
Oh, Hector, the newspaper fellow. Yes, he must have had his copy of the Morning Gazette with him. Oh, we've got the mythical Mr. Smith, too, of course. He turns out to be the actual top dog of the whole show. And as soon as we collared him, he coughed up the whole story. Mangy little blighter. Oh, that doctor fellow who shoved Mountjoy under the train is in it, too. We've got definite information about him.
Lovely. Simply lovely.
What's the matter? You sound a bit peeved. Hang on a minute until I've cleared up here, and we'll go somewhere to celebrate.
Not tonight, Charles, if you don't mind. I don't feel quite like celebrating tonight, I'm afraid.
Will you have a cup of coffee, Mr. Bredon? I mean, Lord Peter.
Oh, yes, rather. Thank you, Miss Rossiter.
By the way, you heard about poor Mr. Tallboy.
Yes, poor chap.
Knocked down and killed on his way home.
Yes, we were all shocked, weren't we, Miss Meatyard? And poor Mrs. Tallboy with a small baby. It does seem awful.
Yes, I know.
Oh, that reminds me, while you're here, could I have your contribution for the wreath? At least, I suppose you'll be leaving Pimm's now, but I thought you might like to contribute.
Yes, of course. Here you are.
Thank you. Oh, and there's also Mr. Willis's wedding present. You know he's getting married.
No, I didn't. Everything seems to happen while I'm away. Who's he marrying?
Pamela Dean.
Oh, good work. How much for Willis, Miss Rossiter?
Well, most people are giving about 2 bob.
Hanky and Garrett stumped up £0.50 each.
Then I'd better make it £0.50 too.
Oh, no, you're a lamb, but it isn't fair.
It is quite fair, Miss Rossiter. There are excellent reasons why I should contribute largely to a wedding present for Mr. Willis.
Oh, thank you. Are there? I thought you and he didn't get on very well. Oh, I forgot. I am a fool. Of course. If you're Lord Peter Wimsey, you're simply frightfully rich, aren't you?
Fair to middling. It might run to a cake for